Welcome into Falcon Park here on this fine Saturday night as we prepare for some PGCBL baseball. The Auburn Doubledays taking on the Newark Pilots for the fifth time this season. Hi everyone, I'm Ryan Story alongside Evan Carocchio. And Evan, we got kind of a special day here tonight. It's HOA night, the 6th annual HOA night. And so that stands for Hematology Oncology Associates of CNY. And Evan, this game just has a little bit more meaning than all the ones leading up to this.
Yeah, this is HOA night, like you said. It's Cancer Survivor night. And before the game started, all the cancer survivors went out there on the field. And they were met with a standing ovation and a round of applause. And it's a deep game tonight. It's obviously a very sad night. But to everyone here that's a cancer survivor, we applaud you. You're a very strong person. And, yeah, like you said, it's a very deep, sad game. And we also learned that head coach Thomas Eaton is a cancer survivor before the game. So, shout out and congratulations to Coach Thomas Eaton.
Yeah, so he went out and met the cancer survivors as they walked out onto the field. But don't worry, the night also ends with some happiness as we'll have fireworks after this game, the last fireworks night of the season, I believe. But starting off the game, the Newark Pilots will be up to bat. It's Miles Castillo, the second baseman, taking the first pitch. He takes it for a ball on the mound for the Doubledays tonight. It was a late swap. Will Seiler supposed to pitch instead. It's Jacob Morrell on the mound. And we saw a little bit of Jacob Morrell's dad out on the field yesterday.
We talked about how well of a job he did out in center field. He was able to get the ball in quickly, had some incredible catches. He looked like he was still in his youth out there in center field.
Yeah, Ryan Morrell was able to start in yesterday's exhibition game. That was against the Finger Lakes Lakers of the Rochester Baseball League. And that game actually went into extra innings, with the Doubledays eventually losing 3-2 in the 10th. Luckily, though, it was an exhibition game, so it does not count to their overall record.
Speaking of records, the Doubledays coming to this one. They're at 17 wins, 10 losses. That's 63% on the season. They're on a one-game losing streak, where they lost to the Geneva Red Wings on the 9th, and they are 9-5 at home, whereas the Newark Pilots, they're sitting at 5 wins and 20 losses at the season. They're on a one-game winning streak where they beat the Niagara Falls Americans yesterday with the final score being 16-14.
Yeah, and we see Miles Castillo walk right there. The first batter gets to first base in just 5 pitches. Matthew Diatavio now up to bat. Castillo did not take a single swing in that first at-bat. Diatavio does not swing there. There's strike one. Yeah, the Doubledays are 4-0 against the Pilots this season. They have not yet dropped a game to this Newark squad, and for Newark, it's been a very rough turn at the sea for them as Diatavio drops to 0-2.
I mean, before they just picked up their win, they were on a 6-game losing streak. Yeah. And they had their doubleheader canceled against the Americans on the 5th. And then from there, they were just on that 6-game losing bid where they could not catch a break.
As we see Miles Castillo trying to steal second, but that foul ball will bring him all the way back. As he actually tried to hang around at second base, but unfortunately, we'll have to trot back for him.
For Diatavio, he enters this one with a .290 batting average. He's got 9 hits on the season, and this is his 32nd plate appearance.
Diatavio swinging his bat, awaiting the 0-2 pitch. Still in the hole as Morrell's trying to record his first out. That pitch outside. Looking at Jacob Morrell's stats this season, Morrell is making his 4th appearance here. He's appeared 3 times so far with a 1-0 record, nearly 8 full innings of work through those 3 appearances, and he has a 3.52 ERA.
He's got an 1,000 fielding percentage, though I think you forgot to include.
That's also true. Has not made an error while on the mound. The 1-2 pitch swung on and whiffed. There's a strikeout for Jacob Morrell. He sits down Matthew Diatavio, and that brings up Colden Forney, the designated hitter for the Pilots. He's batting third for the Pilots today.
Yeah, we know about Colton Forney. He's batting .211 on the season. This is the 12th game he has started. He has 8 hits on the season, and he's got 1 double.
Yeah, really hasn't brought much in terms of extra base power. And he was actually going to lay down a bunt there instead of throw down to first, not in time. Forney pulled back in time, so it's a 1-0 count. Castillo has been extra aggressive off of first base. We'll see if he takes off here. He's eyeing it, and he turned his hips but did not go as strike one falls into the zone. Castillo this season has only stolen 3 bases, which puts him tied for it's tied for third on the Pilots. Michael DeRosa in first with 7, as we see Morel step off the bag. Still a 1-1 count with 1 out on the board. That fastball misses outside, 81 miles per hour, getting away from Jacob Morel. The Doubledays certainly want to pick up some momentum in this game with a matchup against Newark. This is a chance for them to have a sort of get-right opportunity. As that pitch is inside, and it looks like it hit Forney. He'll take first, and that advances Miles Castillo to second. 2 runners on, just 1 out.
And Bentabanga is going to probably argue. He thinks that Forney there maybe swung. It looks like the home plate umpire is not going to argue that at all, and he's going to give him first base. So unlucky there for Morel. And Forney appears to be okay. We heard that one from up here. It plugged him right in his rib cage.
Yeah, but it did look like his swing came all the way around, which if it did, then it would not count as a hit by pitch. But the umpire disagreed with that. So that brings up Aiden Bolin, the tall extra hitter. As both the hitter and pitcher reset righty on righty matchup. Morel keeping an eye on Castillo. There's strike 1, and Bentabanga is primed and ready to throw that ball if need be. He sends a message to Castillo over at second that he's ready for the throw down to third. Bolin this season batting just over .250 with a slugging percentage just under .300. And Castillo goes to swing up the middle. It's going to be the shortstop Rumpf making the play, getting the toss over to first for out number 2. So it looks like Will Ragland might have thought that was the 3rd out of the inning. But that puts runners on first and second, or it should be second and third with 2 outs.
Good play there by the Auburn Doubledays defense. And that's actually an incredible double steal by the Pilots there, as they were able to avoid a double play from potentially happening. Could have been an easy double play at 6-4-3, but instead it's only 1 out. So good job there by the Pilots.
That brings up Christopher Babkowski, the catcher, and he now faces an 0-1 count. He has 2 runners here in scoring position, but just 1 out to work with.
Babkowski enters this one. He's got a .235 batting average. This is his 35th plate appearance of the season, and he enters this one with 8 hits.
Castillo still taking a large lead. Can't imagine he's going to try to steal home, but he's ready in case it comes down to it. And I think Babkowski thought he got hit. He says it bounced off of his elbow. The umpire seemed to disagree at first. Babkowski arguing, and now the third base coach for Newark is going to come have a chat with the umpire.
And I think I'm going to agree with Babkowski on this one. I mean, I think I pretty much clearly saw it hit him. And he's showing him the ball mark on his forearm right now, saying, hey, that one hit me, Blue. And the home plate umpire is going to go talk it over with the field umpire to see what the field umpire saw on that one. So let's see what the call is after this.
The umpires are done conversing. He's providing his ruling to the Newark players, and it seems like Newark still isn't too happy with the call. And it looks like the proof on Babkowski's arm is not enough. The home umpire playing judge, jury, and executioner here as he makes Babkowski step back up to the plate. And Babkowski's still in disbelief.
If Babkowski strikes out here, him and the coach are going to be livid.
So now it's a 1-2 count. Babkowski down to his last strike. That pitch gets away from Jake Bentavenga, and a run will score for Newark. Maybe the baseball gods believe they provided some karma for Newark there, as the Pilots take a 1-0 lead, and Colton Forty is now at third, just 90 feet away from scoring.
You aren't kidding, Ryan. That's really unlucky for the Auburn Doubledays. Maybe they would have taken the hit by pitch if they knew that that was going to happen. 1-0 Newark.
There's a foul off over down the first base line. That will be ruled in the books as a pass ball as it got past Bentavenga. The 2-2 count for Chris Babkowski. That misses high. We've got a full count approaching the seventh pitch of the at-bat. Again, still a runner in scoring position. 40 sitting on third. It's swung on and fouled off. Babkowski just barely getting a piece of it. After Chris Babkowski, it's Aiden Davenport on deck. Jaden Pena in the hole for the Pilots. Alrighty, stepping back in. The payoff pitch. No swing there. Strike three. Babkowski is rung up, and he is visibly frustrated, not with that call, but probably by the fact that he likely got hit by a pitch and was not awarded his base. The Doubledays trail by one after the pass ball, but we'll see if they can respond at the plate when we return to the bottom of the first inning. Back here, bottom of the first inning, the Auburn Doubledays trail by one here on HOA night. Leading off for the Doubledays, it's a new leadoff batter, Ethan Smith, leading off here at Falcon Park for the first time this season. Normally, this is a spot reserved for Jaden Madrid. Ethan Smith, I kind of like this move, though, having him step into the role as leadoff batter, because you look at it, he's batting .435 on the season.
Yeah, I was about to say, why not, especially batting .435. He's got 10 hits in 23 at-bats, 2 doubles, 6 RBIs, and he's got speed as well. I mean, he just gets on the base paths, and he cruises around them with ease. He's someone that once he gets hitting, he's hot. And he was a new addition halfway through this season. He's been pretty good for the Doubledays.
Yeah, but in terms of his base running, I'd say that was the only reason why this would be maybe a questionable move. He only has 1 stolen base this season, doesn't really use his lights a ton, and he's also gotten caught stealing one. So just a 50% success rate for Smith on the base paths.
Yeah, it's just the fact that he legs out what could be a single into a double.
True, that's very true.
He's got that hustle there.
On the mound for the Pilots, it's Liam Eshelman, the 6'1 righty out of Tuca College. As Smith has worked his way to a 2-2 count, he's fouled off 2 of the 4 pitches he's seen. Eshelman this season, it's been a rough go for him. He has an 11.3 ERA through 4 appearances. This marks his 5th, and he has an 0-2 record. Gives up a batting average of about .350. Here in this first plate appearance, Smith has already worked his way to a full count. Each time he's swung, he's made contact with the ball. The payoff pitch bounces off the head of the catcher. That couldn't have felt good for Christopher Babkowski, but he'll motor through it as the umpire walks the ball out to the pitcher, Eshelman. We'll take you through the fielders for the Pilots right here. We just mentioned Babkowski and Eshelman as the catcher-pitcher duo. In the infield, going left to right, Matthew Diatavio at third, Carlos Jara at short, Miles Castillo at second, and Jaden Pena at first. Now the payoff pitch. It's in, it's swung on, and it's hit into shallow right field. That's a base hit that just barely escaped the infield for Ethan Smith. That's why you have him bat leadoff.
Found a way to get a hit. Didn't really have this pitch, decided to swing. He was able to have the power to put it into right field. Good job by Coach Eaton to put him at the leadoff spot. And let's hope that Mr. Teddy Monahan is stepping up to the plate right now, can move him around on the bases.
Yeah, Monahan batting .437 this year, second highest average on the Doubledays with a .676 slugging percentage. As there's a pickoff toss over to Jaden Pena at first. The outfielders for the Pilots in today's game, Grant Ingram in left, Angel Gomez in center, and Aiden Davenport in right. And a second straight pickoff attempt. Eshelman trying to keep Smith honest. The Doubledays have been known this season for being one of the most aggressive teams on the base paths.
You see typically 2 double steals per game for the Doubledays, and it's been fun to watch when the Doubledays do have a chance at double stealing because they execute it perfectly.
Yeah, the Doubledays are third in the PGCBL this year in total stolen bases. Monahan took the first pitch looking. He swings at the second, right up the gut, bounces off the crotch of the umpire. That's a base hit for the Doubledays. It could have turned into a double play, but some umpire interference out there in the field.
Wow. I mean, first off, how often do you see that? Did the umpire lose the ball? Was it hit that hard?
I guess it was.
Lucky for Teddy Monahan, because like you said, it could have been a double play ball. Very unlucky for Newark. And, you know, the pitcher there, Eshelman, kind of said something to home plate umpire. Not sure what he said. Maybe he was saying, hey, you know, that's kind of unfair for us. But very lucky for Monahan and Ethan Smith, as they're both safe. And it appears that the field umpire is okay. So that's good there as well.
Yeah, that was a hard hit ball. I'm surprised he walked it off so quickly, because that really ricocheted off his leg. Good for him that he's okay with Luke Guire now at the plate. But for Newark, I mean, it's going to be hard to win if you're playing a 10v9 out here.
Yes, definitely.
Luke Guire pulls back that bunt attempt. Just a 61 mile per hour pitch right there. Little ephus. No outs, runners on first and second. Guire wanted to lay down the bunt, but the pitch was outside. Looked like that might have been setting up a throw down to third if Ethan Smith got aggressive and decided to steal. The 2-1. Pitched in, swung on. Guire couldn't catch it. Luke Guire down to his last strike. After Guire, it's Justin Batts, then Chase Moore. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on, hit into center field. Angel Gomez going to come up with it. Ethan Smith advancing to third, and he will tag up successfully. Runners on first and third with 1 out for the Doubledays.
And there's a display of Ethan Smith wheels there. He was halfway down the baseline, almost didn't tag up, ran back, and still had enough time to tag up and advance to third base. And Angel Gomez out there in center field looked like he was going to potentially lose that ball in the sun. It's a good job by him to track it down to pick up an out.
That brings up Justin Batts, who's batting just over 300 this season. He has a chance to put a runner in with runners on the corners here.
Batts has 14 RBIs on the season, top 5 in RBIs for the Doubledays. Like you said, batting .304, 2 doubles, 17 hits.
And there's a throw down to second. And wow, there's no pickle as a great display of base running by the Doubledays. Ethan Smith came off of third to try to draw in the throw from the second baseman, Miles Castillo. Teddy Monahan looked like he was a guaranteed out there, like a fish out of the water, but instead he was able to just sneak over to second and make it there safely.
Great job by Smith to deke out Castillo, and that's kind of an error there, a dull moment, I guess, on Castillo. As, you know, like you said, he could have easily had gotten Teddy Monahan out. He was sitting there like a sitting duck. Instead, he was able to go on second base. He took 2 steps and basically walked on the bag. That should have been the second out.
But luckily for the Doubledays, they've got now 2 runners in scoring position here with the 0-2 count. Justin Batts just trying to avoid striking out here. That was a slow 65-mile-per-hour curve that was hit out of play. Batts stays alive. The tying run sits on third. The go-ahead run is at second. Still 0-2 that pitch, low and away. Chris Babkowski with a great stop to keep it in front of him. Babkowski avoiding the same fate that the Doubledays had in the top half of the inning, where a pass ball allowed the Pilots to score a run. That curveball fell low. As we see, Eshelman stays in that mid-60s range with his breaking stuff. Count, now 2-2. That's a swing, and it gets through the gap. The shortstop, Carlos Chara, can't get to it. Runners on the corners again as Ethan Smith scores from third, and Justin Batts picks up the Doubledays' 3rd hit of the day.
Great job by Justin Batts to put it where no fielder was for the Pilots. I mean, that's just impressive hitting there to wait on your pitch. Didn't even hit it that hard. He just waited and put it right in the gaps. Doubledays tie this one up here in the bottom of the 1st.
And you know, it's been 3 hits, but none of them have been crazy. Ethan Smith had a blooper that just barely escaped the infield. Teddy Monahan had a shot up the middle that had to bounce off an umpire, and Justin Batts had a dribbler that somehow escaped the infield. The Doubledays haven't been wowing anyone with their presence at the plate, but just enough team baseball, they're able to score a run.
And bloop hits, no matter how they are hits.
And there's Chase Moore getting plunked by a pitch. He's not going to have to show the umpire any proof. He'll just take first. Justin Batts advances to second. We've got bases loaded with 1 out.
And here's Ragland, who's due up to the plate. He's someone for the Auburn Doubledays that doesn't really get a lot of RBIs. He only has 6 on the season. He's someone who, if he gets on, he's fast on the base path as well. He's got 9 hits on the season. Still looking for his first extra base hit on the season. So let's hope for the Doubledays' sake he gets one here.
Tie game 1-1. Ragland has the chance to put Auburn ahead. He takes the first pitch for a ball. Eshelman so far has done a good job of getting that first strike on the opening pitch. Ragland changing the script this time. Ragland doesn't go there. That pitch just inside, 76 miles per hour from Eshelman. Ragland will be followed up by Braden Michelson, then Brenton Smith. If it comes down to it, as that pitch is fouled off, Ragland on his first swing can't get the timing right. Eshelman is approaching his 25th pitch already here in the first inning. Still only recorded 1 out. There's a breaking ball hit into shallow right field. The play will be made by Aiden Davenport as there's Teddy Monahan tagging up. The throw not going to get there in time. Bats to third. Monahan scores. The Doubledays are in the lead. The sacrifice fly from William Ragland scores a run. Auburn 2, Newark 1.
Great piece of hitting again by the Auburn Doubledays. I mean, it's not an extra base hit. It's not a home run. Nothing fancy. Just put the bat on the ball, and that's all Ragland had to do. And he scored the advancing run. So great job there by Ragland, and a phenomenal tag up by Monahan.
There's a throw over to first as Chase Moore was getting a little aggressive off of first base. But I like that. Nothing fancy. That might be what the Doubledays have done all season. It's also the name of a great restaurant out in Verona.
I've never been.
Well, that's a pretty good one.
Where did you say it was?
It's out in Verona,
Verona. Okay.
up near Hamilton College. As there's now a 1-0 count. Runners on the corners for the Doubledays. Breaking ball misses outside. This is a opportunity where we would see Chase Moore normally steal second for the Doubledays, but with 2 outs, the question is if it's worth it here. You still do have a runner in scoring position.
I'd still sign Chase Moore if I'm coaching.
He's got the speed for it. As that fastball misses just outside. Now, I think Michelson will probably just wait on this pitch as he has the 3-0 advantage over Liam Eshelman, and this young pitcher is in some trouble. The 3-0, a fastball right down the gut, 78 miles per hour. If Michelson swung, it would have been a meatball, but he does the correct thing by baseball tradition and does not swing at the 3-0. Now the 3-1 swing on, hit up the middle. It's a shortstop, Carlos Jara, getting the out over at second on the fielder's choice. The Doubledays leave 2 on, but end the inning with a 2-1 advantage. We'll be back for more Doubledays action coming your way in the second inning when we return here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Back here, top of the second inning, Aiden Davenport kicking things off for the Newark Pilots. And for the Pilots, that was kind of indicative of what their season has been like. Even when they're able to score runs, the other team just scores a little bit more. Newark this season, 5-20 record that we've mentioned. They have yet to have a game where they've let the opposing team score less than 4 runs. Every single time, they have given up a plentiful of runs as Davenport falls into the 0-2 count.
You know, I looked at the batting stats for both teams. The Doubledays, they have 3 home runs as a team. The Newark Pilots only have 1. Wow. The Doubledays as a team are batting .299, so let's say 300 as a team. Whereas the Pilots as a team, I believe I saw, were batting either .235 or .245 as a team. Just
not great numbers.
Yeah, like you just said, yes.
Davenport thought about swinging at that pitch outside. Instead, the count is evened up at 2-2.
Oh, no, it's money. You're right. It's money.
Right on the edge there, Morrell really trying to bait Davenport. No dice as Davenport now steps back in with a full count. The payoff pitch. Just inside. After a quick 0-2 count, Morrell throws 4 straight balls to walk in, and Davenport. The Pilots have a runner on first.
Okay, first baseman, thank you.
We saw something similar in the first inning when we saw Morrell walk the leadoff batter, Miles Castillo. Castillo was able to come all the way around the bases and score despite Morrell not giving up a base hit. Now it's Jaden Pena up to bat, the righty batter, as he does not swing. A 5th straight ball for Jacob Morrell. Pena's batting .212 on the year. Oh, Morrell's pitch beans Jaden Pena, goes off the helmet. That's the second batter Morrell has hit today, maybe the third. And if you talk to Chris Babkowski, he'd probably say it's the third, but that's the second official hit by pitch Morrell has thrown. Now there's runners on first and second, no outs.
That one was scary, though. I mean, I thought that one hit Pena right in the face, but it sounded like it nicked the side of his helmet. He's being checked on right now at first base, and then the head coach for the Pilots is going to go walk over there and check on him. But he appears to be okay. Somewhat scary moment there.
Yeah, never like to see a fastball around the head. That's always a potential worst-case scenario. Luckily, it seems like everyone's all right. Morrell still hasn't given up a hit, but he's let 4 runners on base now this game. He struck out 2 in the first inning. Might need to pull some more of that magic out here, as he has a 1-0 count against Grant Ingram. 7 straight balls thrown by Morrell. Ingram pops one up, and Morrell, he catches it, but then loses it. It's ruled a pop fly. Morrell did catch it on the transition to throw to try to get the double play. That was when it was ruled the ball came out of his glove. So there's 1 out on the board. Ingram pops out, but still runners on first and second.
We're not even 2 innings into this game, and we've seen some wild things tonight. A ball was hit off the field umpire. A pop fly back to the pitcher that was ruled an out that looked like it was potentially bobbled, but ruled on the transfer. And then earlier we saw a Pilots player argue that he was hit by a pitch that was ruled he wasn't. Well, I guess we're in for a ride tonight here at Falcon Park.
We certainly are here on this beautiful Saturday night. So that pitch misses outside. Good stop by Jake Bentavenga. Angel Gomez up to bat. Gomez facing a 1-0 count this year. He's batting .271 on the campaign with an on-base percentage over .350. That swung on and missed. Gomez can't catch a piece of that fastball. We'll take you through the Doubledays lineup in the field today. Morrell throwing to Bentavenga. Looking at the infield, Chase Moore standing at third, Connor Rumpf at short, William Ragland in his usual spot at second, as Gomez whiffs again, and Justin Batts over at first. In the outfield, it's the Smiths, Brendan Smith in left, Ethan Smith in right, with Teddy Monahan manning center. A 1-2 count as Gomez has swung and missed at the last two pitches he's seen, but there's a fastball missing outside. Morrell looking for his third punch out of the day. Another one near the strike zone, but just misses. Jacob Morrell already up to 40 tosses on the game. Not a great start for him, but he's still only allowed one run. We'll see if he can escape this jam here. The full count. Pitches in. It's hit deep into center field. Monahan will be able to snag it. It looks like there will be a tag-up attempt by Davenport. He retreats back to second. So it's just a simple fly out to center. 2 outs on the board. The Pilots still have 2 runners on.
Good job there by Monahan. Not only catch the ball, but get it in time. Do not allow Davenport to tag up from second base. And with 2 outs, here's where the pitcher needs to do it himself to get out of this jam.
And the final batter in the order for the Pilots, Carlos Jara, the shortstop, who is involved in the third and final out of the bottom of the first inning. Now could be the final out of the top of the second. He fouls off the first pitch he sees. Jara is an OCC veteran,
Well, 3 now.
batting 137 for the Pilots this year. Only has 2 extra base hits on the campaign. He cracks one down the first base line. Justin Batts barely has to move to field it and touch first for out number 3. We'll flip around to the bottom of the second inning for more Doubledays action coming your way when we return.
Yeah.
Bottom of the second inning, the Doubledays just escaped the top half with no harm done. Now it's Brendan Smith up to bat. After the Doubledays went through the first 7 batters in their order in the first inning. Smith this season is batting, he's batting .366, slugging .488. So he's got 5 doubles on the year. Ashelman went through 29 pitches in the first inning. Quick 2-0 count to Smith as that misses outside yet again.
Yeah, Brennan Smith certainly a power hitter for the Auburn Doubledays. He does damage with runners on the bases. And last night we actually saw him in a pitching outing. That was fun to watch.
Yeah, his first pitching outing of the year, able to get some work in the exhibition game. And he only stayed in for a little bit, but yeah, certainly enjoyable to see him out in the mound in the limited time that he had. Eshelman finally got a strike, and there's strike two as Smith got caught swinging. So after Smith got it up to a 3-0 count, now it's already back tied at a full count. The payoff pitch. First batter of the second, that's hit deep into center field, and Angel Gomez able to track it down. That center field out in Falcon Park is deep. Hard to homer out there in the middle.
That one, I thought that one was going to get blasted over the center field wall. Unfortunately, it just died down, I guess, a lot. Unlucky for Brennan Smith. It sounded like he smashed that one.
Yeah, a little bit of wind coming left to right here at Falcon Park today, pushing a little bit back towards the press box. That fastball misses low to Connor Rumpf, the shortstop, who's batting ninth in the Doubledays order today. Rumpf is followed up by Jake Bentavenga, the catcher. Then it flips back around to Ethan Smith as the leadoff batter. The Doubledays scored 2 runs in the first inning. Both Ethan Smith and Teddy Monahan scored, but they did strand 2 base runners out there to end the inning. Rumpf, a second straight batter to get a quick 3-0 count. The 3-0 pitch. And we've seen time and time again, Eshelman has worked his way to 3-0 and then just tossed a meatball down the middle. And the Doubledays have stayed vigilant, not swinging. The 3-1. That's fouled off. I'm having deja vu here to the last at bat.
Yeah, Eshelman has done a phenomenal job of when he's down in the count, working himself back in the count. And let's see if that's something that the Doubledays either struggle with today, where they actually don't end up winning the at-bat, or it's something that is in their benefit, where they're able to work a walk or get a hit.
But at the very least, they're really running up his total pitch count. As the payoff pitch swung on, cracked into shallow center field. That's a base hit for Connor Rumpf, the furthest ball that the Doubledays have hit for a base hit today.
Rumpf's 8th hit on this season gets things going for the Doubledays here in the bottom of the second with 1 out. Let's hope that the catcher for the Doubledays, Jake Bentavenga, can extend their hitting streak so far and move Rumpf around.
Yeah, we've talked about it at length. The Doubledays' biggest issue this season has been stranding runners on base. Now Bentavenga looking to avoid having Rumpf be the third through just 2 innings. That opening fastball inside to Bentavenga. And talk about players playing out of position. Jake Bentavenga yesterday was at first base. We have not seen that very often this season.
Brennan Smith pitched. I believe Flynn Shoup pitched.
Yep.
Braden Michelson pitched.
And then we had Tim Mack, the assistant coach, as the starting pitcher in that game. And there's a pass ball, gets past Christopher Babkowski. Connor Rumpf advances to second. A runner in scoring position for the second straight inning. That pitch inside yet again. A 3-1 count. Eshelman in danger here. Just 1 out recorded so far. It's swung on. Very shallow hit, but it turns into the perfect bunt, basically, as that rolls just fair down the third base line. There's a base hit for Jake Bentavenga. Again, if he tried to place that any more perfectly in the infield, he wouldn't be able to put it any better than that.
A phenomenal swinging bunt there by Jake
Yeah.
Bentavanga to put himself on safely and then advance Connor Rumpf to third base for the Doubledays' 4th hit on the game.
Actually make it 5 hits now, as they just had back-to-back hits right there. Ethan Smith now up to bat with runners on first and third. This is the same spot where the Doubledays runners were stranded on the base paths last inning. But just 1 out here, Smith has some cushion to work with. The first pitch misses low and inside. The Doubledays fans are starting to get electric, because this is one of the more packed stadiums we've had this year. That swung on and fouled off by Smith. You can tell the fans definitely showing up for HOA night, again, the 6th annual HOA night, as well as we got fireworks after the game, another exciting thing. So if you're watching this from home and you're within driving distance to Falcon Park, you can still have time to show up for tonight's fireworks show. The 1-1 count, swing on, that's hit high in foul territory, but Jaden Pena trying to make a play on it, and just onto the deck out of Pena's reach.
Good hustle there by Pena to attempt to get that one. Unlucky that there's a deck above him, so it wasn't able to go down to his level at all.
Yeah, if he had a little bit more room to work with, he might have been able to record that out, but instead, Smith lives to see another day. But he's behind in the count, 1-2. First Doubledays batter this half inning to fall behind in the count. The 1-2, and that goes right off the back of Ethan Smith. Batters have not been happy with the pitchers today. We've seen plenty of plunked batters. But that loads the bases as Teddy Monahan steps up to the plate. Ethan Smith on first, Jake Bentavanga on second, Connor Rumpf on third. And Teddy Monahan could add to his team-high 25 RBIs right here.
Back-to-back players who reached first safely in the first inning. Dangerous here for Eshelman with Monahan up to the plate.
Again, he's already over 50 pitches on the day. And yeah, you're facing the meat of the Doubledays order. Teddy Monahan, then Luke Guire. And it's a 2-0 count to Monahan. And this is where Eshelman doesn't have a lot of room to work with. You can't afford to walk a batter. So eventually you're going to have to throw one right down the middle. Monahan will be all over anything that's left up for breathing room. That pitch misses outside. It's a 3-0 count. This is where we've seen all game Eshelman, when in a 3-0, has just thrown a fastball down the middle. Monahan might know that, but he might still have to have that red light. The 3-0, no swing, misses outside. A run scores for the Doubledays with the 4-pitch walk. Connor Rumpf scores from third. The Doubledays have a 2-run advantage, and it looks like Eshelman is going to have a talking to by the coach of the Pilots.
This has been an inning where Eshelman has really struggled a lot. I mean, he started out with a pop-up. Looked sharp, got out Brennan Smith. And from there he gave up a single, hit-by-pitch walk. Just a bad 4 at-bat stretch after getting the first out.
Yeah, bad stretch. Then you compound that with the fact that he allowed 4 total base runners in the first inning. He'll stay out there on the mound, but I can't imagine his leash is too long anymore. And again, his pitch count's already been ran high. And the situation isn't any easier. Base is still loaded. Luke Guire up to bat. Guire batting .415 this year, but flew out to center field in the first inning. The lefty batter awaiting the righty's toss. The first pitch misses low and inside. That makes it 6 straight balls thrown by Eshelman. And there's a crack up the gut. The toss, Castillo over to Jara, and the throw from Jara not in time as the throwing error will play another run. The Doubledays score 2 more. They've got a 5-1 advantage as there's now 2 outs, but still 2 runners on.
Pilots cannot catch a break this inning. It looked like that was going to be an inning double play to get out of this one, only giving up 1 run. Instead, that scores 3 runs here in the bottom of the second. And Eshelman can't catch a break with his defense behind him at all.
Yeah, and with the throwing error by Jara, that plates 2 runs. As Guire records 1 RBI, and now Guire's the lone batter left on the base paths for the Doubledays. He's on first, and that's a 1-1 count to Justin Batts, who takes a huge hack at that one, fouls it off towards the opposing team's clubhouse. Two strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. The Doubledays lead by 4. The runner takes off. Guire will get the stolen base. It actually doesn't get there in time. He looked like he had it, but just slowed up as he neared the bag. Luke Guire's caught stealing to end the second, but I'm sure he'll take it after still both recording an RBI. The Doubledays get a 5-1 lead. We'll be back shortly in the 3rd inning when we come back here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. It's the leadoff batter up for the Pilots as they trail by 4 here in the 3rd inning. Miles Castillo up to bat. He walked and eventually scored off a pass ball back in the 1st. Now to kick off the 3rd, he's got a 1-0 count. He doesn't go at that pitch, makes it a 2-0. Castillo, again, arguably the best batter that the Pilots have to offer, with the exception of Michael DeRosa, who's leading the team with a .429 batting average, but not playing in today's contest. Or at least is not yet playing, as Castillo misses that pitch. He swings and whiffs for the 2-1 count. That's fouled off behind him. Good recovery by Jacob Morrell, who has let multiple base runners on in each of the first 2 innings, but in the second came away clean and forced the Pilots to come away empty-handed. That pitch misses the zone. We've got a full count here in the opening at-bat of the 3rd inning. That swing on hit down the third base line. Chase Moore gloves it, toss to first in time. Chase Moore flashing his arm strength as the first out of the third is recorded.
Moore's got a cannon over there on the hot corner. Phenomenal play by him to get out the speedy Castillo for the first out here in the top of the third.
The 5-3 put up brings up Matthew D'Ottavio. D'Ottavio struck out his first time around. Morel recorded 2 strikeouts in the first and hasn't gotten one since then. As that pitch forced D'Ottavio to run all the way, not just out of the batter's box, but out of the circle.
Yeah, another scary moment again as that one almost clipped him right in the chin. I mean, Morel has been sharp tonight. He has not given up a hit for 2 full innings, but the hit by pitches have been a tad bit concerning.
They've been concerning. It's just been a rough day to be in the batter's box. I mean, your stats are probably improving if you're a batter in tonight's contest, but the balls have been dangerous as D'Ottavio was not thrilled with that call and had some choice words for the umpire. It's now a 1-1 count after that questionable strike call. That gets away from Jacob Morel to make it 2-1.
Questionable is definitely the right word for that. I don't even think that D'Ottavio, went at all on that one. So, unlucky for him, I guess.
Yeah, but now a 2-1-3. Wow, 2-2 count for D'Ottavio. And it looks like the batter shared a look with his third base coach. Another one where he wasn't too happy with the call. That misses outside. We've got another full count here in the top of the third inning. Jacob Morel has done a good job, as you mentioned, Evan. Has not given up a hit, but yeah, the pitch count high has been a little wild at times today. But as long as he's keeping the Pilots off the board, it's okay for Auburn, but that gets past Jake Bentavenga. D'Ottavio will take his base. It's a third batter walked through 3 innings, not even counting the 2 that have been hit by a pitch for Jacob Morel.
Here comes Forney, who was already hit by a pitch tonight against Morel. He got hit in the first. He was able to go all the way to third and got left stranded. We don't want any more deja vu. Morel's going to want a ground out here for a double play or a strikeout or something.
And there's a runner already taking off, and as we saw, D'Ottavio was running before the ball left the hand of Morel. He was already halfway there, and by the time Bentavenga caught it at home, he had no chance of throwing to second, didn't even try.
Yeah, I believe Bentavenga is going to go out there and talk to Morel. First, I'll try to calm him down after giving up that stolen base, but second, I'll tell him that you got to check with the first baseman, Justin Batts, before every pitch, because you cannot have that happen again.
And now Thomas Eaton also is going to be a part of that conversation. But yeah, just a young rookie mistake there by Jacob Morel, as the Auburn native didn't go through his normal routine, and it looks like the Newark Pilots are also having a conversation over there down the third base line. Wouldn't surprise me here to see the batter in Forney try to lay down a bunt to get D'Ottavio closer to home. Eaton leaves the mound. The Doubledays still conversing out there. Looks like some words of encouragement and some words of strategy for the Doubledays. Forney will step back into the batter's box. One runner in scoring position. And it looks like a throw down to second. It's going to hit right off the gut of D'Ottavio. Hits it right in the rib cage. Wow, even on second, you're not safe for being hit by a pitch.
No, and Ragland's going to check up on him there to make sure that he's okay. as that one clearly hit him, and he appeared to be okay. Some good sportsmanship there by Ragland to check up on Diatavio.
Yeah, and you can tell the Doubledays were thinking about that a little bit. Diatavio dancing around over at second, right in front of Rumpf. He is being overly cocky out there.
Not sure why Morel didn't step off the rubber there, as Diatavio was halfway down pretty much the base path. And here comes Rumpf to try to keep him close.
Diatavio in the head of Morel a little bit, and that's low and outside. You have to be thinking you can't allow Diatavio to take third, but you also need to throw your pitches over the strike zone. Diatavio a little less aggressive this time. The throw in, swung on, hit. It'll be in foul territory, but maybe in play, and no, that will bounce off the deck yet again as some kids chase after that ball. 2 strikes on the board, 1 out, as Morel looks to escape the third here, still yet to give up a hit. The pitch is in, swung on, 40, chases high. There's the third punch out of the day for Jacob Morel. And he's just 1 out away from getting out of the third. It's Aiden Bolin up to bat. He's 0 for 1 on the day.
And there's the revenge that I was talking about. In the first inning, he hit 40, then able to win the at-bat and strike him out. Gave him a free base in the first. Doesn't give him a base this time. Beautiful job there by Morel, who was distracted by Diatavio basically the whole at-bat. Getting his 3rd strikeout on the game.
That pitch by Morel falls in for strike 1. Yeah, mentally, Morel has recovered very well after that conversation on the mound with his catcher, his infield, and Thomas Eaton, who was out there on the mound with him. That pitch just barely misses the zone. Some good communication here by the Doubledays defense. Diatavio very far off second as that's fouled off. Ragland had wandered his way over to the base just to be ready in case Morel did want to throw it. Bolin down to his last strike. The pitch is in and misses low and outside. That's been Morel's choice spot outside of the zone today. Ben Devenga has gotten his work in sliding. He's only let 1 past him, but the one he did let past him did give up a run. And there's strike 3. Bolin didn't go. And he's going to regret that one as Morel picks up his 4th punch out of the day. Well headed to the bottom of the 3rd. The Doubledays still lead by 4. Back here, bottom of the third inning. Thanks for sticking with us here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel as we near 7:45 p.m. here at Falcon Park. It's a 5-1 lead for the Auburn Doubledays. They've scored each of the first 2 innings. Liam Eshelman, though, remains on the mound. As that pitch is way out of the zone and away from the catcher, Chris Brabkowski. We'll see if Eshelman is able to regain his composure. He struggled through that second. Big swing there from Justin Batts. He fouls that off.
Yeah, like you said, Eshelman really struggled. He started out the second giving up a pop fly out to Brennan Smith. And from there, he gave up a single, hit by pitch, walk, and then from there, the defense behind him did their jobs.
And another foul off by Batts. Yeah, looking at Eshelman's performance this season, or his performances this season, he hasn't pitched since June 27th when he was part of that win over Geneva in which the Pilots took down the Red Wings 7-6. In that game, he pitched for 4 innings, but gave up 5 earned runs as they still managed to come away with the win. As that's another foul ball dribbler down the third base line. Batts thought he might have been able to leg that one out, but instead it's ruled foul. So yeah, Eshelman trying to keep that ERA low, as he had a solid start back on June 20th against Geneva where he did not give up a run. But then, since then, that ERA has popped right back up to over 11. The 2-2, missing just outside. We've got a full count here in the first batter of the bottom of the third. Chase Moore waiting on deck. Justin Batts singled at his first go-around to walk here. That payoff pitch was nowhere near the strike zone, and I can't imagine Liam Eshelman will be remaining on the mound too much longer. He's still here in the third, and I don't see a ton of action in the bullpen.
Yeah, and talk about a phenomenal bat there by Justin Batts. He was down in the count after fouling like 3 pitches off. From there, he's able to work a walk. Great eye by Batts and great plate discipline.
Yeah, and this is where Chase Moore being a switch hitter is actually a huge advantage for him. We've seen that Eshelman has really struggled against lefty batters in today's game, and when he's missed, it's been on that right side, which is why we saw Chase Moore get hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. Now working with a 1-1 count against Eshelman. That pitch misses outside for the 2-1 count. Batts taking a slight lead off first. That pitch misses inside. Eshelman now up to 67 pitches. Evan, don't do the emote.
I didn't.
I'm sure you didn't. The fans at home will never know. The 3-1 count. Chase Moore doesn't even need to think about swinging as that pitch ricochets off of his arm. It wouldn't have mattered if it hit him or not. I believe that will be ruled a hit by pitch. As Chase Moore goes to first, he's hit for the second time today, and Justin Batts moves over to second.
That's the 3rd time Eshelman has hit a Doubledays batter. And that one was dangerous as well. It was well inside. It's unlucky for Chase Moore, who's been plunked 2 times tonight. He's going to need an ice bath.
He certainly will. As now William Ragland steps up. Last time he was up, the bases were loaded, and Ragland hit a sac fly into center field. This time, he's got runners on first and second with no outs on the board. He fouls off that pitch. This marks the third straight inning in which the Doubledays have had two runners on. They've managed to load the bases in each of the 2 innings as well. 1-1 count. Ragland does not go after that breaking ball that really dipped in there. He managed to fall into the strike zone, much to the chagrin of the Doubledays fan base. One-two count. That swing got hit over to the second baseman. Miles Castillo with the toss to Carlos Jara. Jara did not come off the base. Looked like he did get the out. Again, the Falcon faithful not too happy with that call. But with the fielder's choice, Ragland is safe at first, but Chase Moore is out at second, and Batts is over at third.
I mean, you can hear it here at Falcon Park. Doubledays faithful are upset with that call. Thomas Eaton's going out there right now to go talk it over with the field umpire because he can't believe it himself. There have been a lot of questionable calls tonight. Let's see if this one stands or if it's going to be overturned.
I think it was close. I don't think it was guaranteed either way. And I can see where the umpire was coming from when he made that call. But yeah, certainly a tough decision to make there.
Well, fortunately for the Doubledays, Eaton shaking his head. Looks like the call's going to stand, and the umpires are hearing it.
Wow, loud
At
booing
Falcon
and
Park.
cheering.
Yeah.
That might be the loudest I've heard them get in terms of booing an umpire this season. But anyways, that brings up Braden Michelson with runners on the corners. Just one out on the board. As that pitch misses outside. One important note for the Pilots, while they only have one error throughout tonight's contest, the fact that they haven't recorded a double play is kind of shocking, as they've had multiple golden opportunities to get those, and they just haven't been able to convert.
Yeah, and we saw Castillo with the error earlier on what should have been an easy tag out on Teddy Monahan, able to give up a double steal.
Yeah.
So just a lot of mental errors tonight, even though they aren't legit errors.
That ball misses high for now a 3-0 count to Michelson. If he walks here, he loads the bases. Eshelman does not deliver the 4-pitch walk. Instead, it's a strike. Paints the lower inside corner of the zone. Eshelman has done a good job of avoiding 4-0 walks as he's worked his way back in this one, a full count.
See what Michelson can do here in his first at bat. He hit for a fielder's choice in the first. Payoff pitch coming right up.
Yeah, that ended the rally in the first inning. Trying to avoid ending a second rally here. He swings, skies that high. That's into shallow center field. 3 Pilots converging on it. It's actually the right fielder, Aiden Davenport, making the play. And it was so shallow that Justin Batts was not able to tag up from third. 2 outs on the board, and the Doubledays in danger of being blanked for the first inning here in today's contest.
Haglund was like a deer in headlights there for a second. He saw the ball caught, stopped, and then immediately sprinted back to first base. I mean, that could have been bad for the Doubledays. That would have been a double play that ended the inning. Instead, good job by Ragland to get back in time.
And there's a shot into center field yet again by Brendan Smith, and it drops for a base hit. Ragland had already been stealing second, and he'll stop at third. But Justin Batts scores from third. Brendan Smith with the RBI single.
6-1 Doubledays. Brendan Smith finally comes up lucky. He wasn't able to find the gaps at all. Instead, this time he drops one right in front of Gomez. Good job by Smith there to keep the inning alive with 2 outs.
Yeah, the RBI single we saw back in the second inning. Smith kicked off the second with a deep shot into center field that just didn't have the legs to get past Gomez. This time he drops it in front of Gomez. And as you mentioned, Devin, the Doubledays lead by 5 through just 3. And they're not quite done yet. Connor Rumpf up to bat. Rumpf had a single and ended up scoring, and wow, that bounces off the pitcher. Eshelman trying to race to first, and the play is not made in time. Connor Rumpf is safe. He dives towards first, gets there in time, an RBI single, and another ricochet play. We've had a wild one today here at Falcon Park.
Rump's on first. Smith is on second. Scoring is Ragland. And yeah, there have been a lot of crazy plays that have happened tonight. Unexplainable. Rumpf extremely lucky, and talk about the hustle there from Connor Rumpf to beat out the short toss. A+ for effort. The Doubledays fans love to see it, and this is the most energetic I have seen the Doubledays fans all season. It has been so fun to hear and watch up in the press box.
Certainly has been. 2 more runs scored in the third inning. A 7-1 lead for the Doubledays. Eshelman misses outside. The Doubledays have scored multiple runs in each inning so far. Jake Bentavenga up to bat. Is Eshelman now over 80 pitches? That pitch misses inside. So a quick 2-0 count. There's runners on first and second. 2 outs on the board. Bentavenga's the final batter in the Doubledays order. And then it'll flip back around to Ethan Smith. That's a shot into left center field. It looks like Gomez and the left fielder will collide for it. Grant Ingram does come down with the catch, however. Jake Bentavenga ends the third inning, but the Doubledays still lead by 6 runs. It's 7-1 in favor of Auburn. We'll be back shortly here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Back here, top of the fourth inning here at Falcon Park, the Auburn Doubledays leads 7-1 over the Newark Pilots. I'm Ryan Story alongside Evan Carocchio on the call. Chris Babkowski steps into the batter's box as his squad now finds himself down by 6 runs. This has really spiraled out of control for Newark. Babkowski swings the first pitch he sees, he fouls it off. In Babkowski's last appearance, he struck out to end the first inning. If you remember, Evan, that was a controversial play because Babkowski thought earlier in the at-bat he had gotten hit by a pitch, repeatedly showed the umpire's arm with the ball mark, and it proved to not be enough to sway the home umpire.
No, and it looked like the Pilots weren't going to be able to score, but instead they scored thanks to a passed ball. So, I mean, I guess it's pretty unlucky for the Doubledays that they weren't awarded the hit by pitch because then the Pilots wouldn't have scored any runs, potentially. But it's lucky, for Babkowski that run was able to come in for them.
Morrell misses high. 3-1 count after forcing Babkowski to foul off the first pitch he saw. And that pitch does not catch the zone. Was down the middle, just a tad upstairs. That's a 5-pitch walk for Jacob Morrell. The fourth batter he's walked through 4 innings, again, not counting the 2 players who have been hit by a pitch.
Doubledays have 6 hits on the game, however, the Pilots have 0.
Yeah.
So it's weird that the Pilots have even scored a run, considering the fact that they have 0 hits on the night. It's just been a lot of walks and hit by pitches given up.
And I'm curious how long Morrell will stay in for as this pitch count continues to climb, but he's got that no-hitter going for him. That pitch misses the strike zone. Aiden Davenport up to bat for the Pilots. Davenport batting just 171. He walked his last appearance. That was right at the start of the second. Make it 6 straight balls thrown by Morrell. Babkowski has only stolen 2 bags this year, and he is not off of first at all, practically glued to the bag. That pitch misses inside and is just inside enough to clip Davenport on the shoulder. That's a 3rd batter hit by Morrell today, and wow, it seems like the batters in tonight's contest have just been frequent targets of the pitcher.
Yeah, that's the 7th time tonight, counting the stat sheet, that Morrell himself, without giving up a hit, has put a runner on first base safely. That's 4 walks, and that is the 3rd hit by pitch given up by Morrell tonight.
Just an interesting day for him as he, in a sense, has struggled but also hasn't given up a hit. It's a weird duality, but it's been working. He's only given up 1 run. Jaden Pena swung all the way around there but couldn't come up with any portion of the baseball. Pena was hit by a pitch in his only prior appearance. He looks to lay down a bunt and misses. There's strike 2. Morrell still looking for his first out this inning. Has the chance here with the 0-2 count. And there's strikeout number 5 as Pena goes down swinging.
Morrell shows off the confidence in himself after giving up a walk and a hit by pitch to start the inning, able to take the batter out himself. Beautiful job to clear her mind and focus on the batter.
And Morrell, I'd say, isn't really known for being a strikeout hitter, but he also doesn't really walk players that often. Today, it's been different for him as he has walked a lot of batters, but he also has recorded 5 strikeouts this season through 3 prior appearances this year. He'd only struck out a combined total of 10 batters. Grant Ingram facing a quick 0-1 count. Ingram popped out back to Morrell in his first plate appearance. Couldn't swing there as that pitch misses outside. It has been a weird day for Falcon Park, but it's been all around a very fun one so far as Auburn has jumped out to a 7-1 lead through just over 3 innings of work. Still sunny here in Auburn as we got temperatures in what feels like about the mid-70s. I'd say the weather as of recently has been very nice here in Auburn.
Yeah, it has. Haven't really had any weather delays or anything like that. We had a few mid-season.
That shot is hit high. Monahan trying to run underneath it, and he will get there in time. It's close enough to freeze both batters at first and second. Both base runners at first and second. as Grant Ingram flies out to center. That brings up Angel Gomez, who got out back in the second inning, by flying out to center.
I don't think the thought crossed Babkowski's mind at all to potentially tag up due to the fact that that ball was so shallow in center field and how good of an arm Monahan has.
There's a shot into left field. That rope is caught. It's dropped by Brendan Smith. That allows one run to score. It looked like the inning was going to end there, but instead Angel Gomez makes it to first safely, and Chris Babkowski scores from second.
That's just a heartbreak for Brendan Smith. It looked like he had that one so easily. Instead, it's going to drop in his glove. I'm sure that's one that he's going to want back. So it might be ruled as an error on him, and it keeps the inning alive with 2 outs, and it scores a run for the Pilots.
Yeah, so now 7-2 in favor of Auburn, as that's an unearned run. Both of Morel's runs allowed have been unearned, as there's a pickle over on the first base line to throw down to home plate. Will be in time. William Ragland connects with Jake Ventavega to get out the stealing Davenport. The Falcon faithful erupt at the inning-ending stellar display of fielding. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Auburn gives up a run, but ends it on a high note. Stay tuned to see if their hitters can keep the momentum going. Back here at Falcon Park in the bottom of the 4th inning, the Pilots plated a run in the top half of the 4th. Now the Doubledays have the chance to respond. 7-2 lead for Auburn, and a new pitcher for the Pilots. That's a shot into left field. Smith drilled it, and it drops just shy of the wall in the warning track. There's a deep double for Ethan Smith. That one was well struck.
Ethan Smith, 3rd double on the season. Starts something here in the bottom of the 4th. He smashed that one to left field off the wall. Found his pitch. 1 pitch, 1 hit. I mean, let's hope that this gets things going for the Doubledays after giving up that run in the top of the 4th.
The new guy on the mound for the Pilots is Justin Dandino out of Marshalltown Community College. And he's got a slow pitch in his back. That was just 51 miles per hour to Teddy Monahan, but it dropped in for a strike. Dandino out of Sudbury, Ontario. And wow, he throws slow, but maybe it works. is, wow, that was a very slow pitch yet again, just 51 miles per hour. He throws from the sidearm. That one 59 miles per hour there.
I mean, that 51 miles per hour pitch there was just completely unexpected. And I don't think Monahan expected it at all. I'm not sure if that was intentional or if that was an ethos pitch, but
it seems like that's just what we'll see from Dandino today. That's all he's been throwing.
Sometimes position players in the MLB go in and they pitch and it works. So maybe this will work for Dandino.
Based off of what I'm seeing, I don't think he's a position player as that pitch is outside. Maybe he is. We'll check. We'll rifle through the stat sheet right now. Evan, I think you are right. I don't have any record of him pitching priorly for the Pilots, as there's a hit over to the shortstop, and Ethan Smith is tagged out by the third baseman, Matthew Diatavio. Nice toss from Carlos Jara to make the throw over to third.
I don't think Ethan Smith should have ran there, but that's just me. Knowing that the ball was going third base side, I think he should have creeped down the baseline just a tad bit, waited to see if they were going to pump fake then throw or just throw, and then decided if he should have gone or not.
Well, now it's just Monahan on first, but he's going to steal. That pitch is behind the legs of Luke Guire. That's going to end up being a wild pitch credited to Justin Dandino, as Teddy Monahan is robbed of a stolen base. Monahan had a great jump on that one, which isn't too surprising considering Dandino is only pumping about 55 miles per hour. That swung on hit foul over to the right field grandstands. A quick 1-1 count.
Don't hurt yourself.
With one out on the board, a runner in scoring position. The starting pitcher, Liam Eshelman, as there's a throw down to second. But as I was saying, the starting pitcher, Liam Eshelman, made it just through 3 innings, gave up 7 total runs, all of them being earned. Just not a great day for him, as he bumped his ERA up even further from its prior spot at 11.2.
And Dandino almost had a wild kickoff attempt. Looked a bit scary. Castillo had to jump and dive to try to grab that one, and then he almost had a wild pitch.
Monahan goes again, the throw from third, not in time. Good toss from Chris Babkowski to still glove the slow pitch and make it a play at third, but Teddy Monahan just too quick.
And there's a runner 90 feet away from scoring for the Doubledays. Luke Guire needs to put his bat on the ball here to try to score Monahan.
That pitch way outside. Guire walks in 5 pitches. The Doubledays have runners on the corners for the 4th straight inning. That brings up Justin Batts, who's 1 for 1 today with an RBI and walked in his last at-bat. The Doubledays lead in the hits column 8-0 right now. As there's a blooper hit into shallow right field, the catch made by Aiden Davenport. Monahan still able to tag up. No contest. He runs in standing up. So there's a sac fly for Justin Batts, as the Doubledays now lead 8-2.
Like I said, that's all the Doubledays need to do is put their bat on the ball and those 4 runs. And that's what Justin Batts did with that sacrifice fly there to right field.
Chase Moore has flipped. He started off the game batting lefty, now batting righty against the southpaw pitcher. Dandino with the toss over to first base. Pickoff not in time. Justin Batts now up to 2 RBIs on the day. Chase Moore has had a similar fate in his 2 at-bats. Got hit by a pitch both times. As we see Guire taking off the throw, going to be way high. And Guire will advance to third on the throwing error by the catcher, Chris Babkowski. An awkward slide from Guire into third, but he's still fine.
I believe that'll be a stolen base and then an error on the catcher Babkowski. on the throwdown there. And there's another runner and 90 feet away from scoring for the Doubledays again.
This time, no chance of a sack fly as there's 2 outs on the board. We'll see what Moore is able to do here with the 1-1 count. One of Dandino's faster pitches right there, hitting 64 miles per hour. That one hitting 66 outside, as it looks like his arm is starting to heat up. That pitch falls in for strike 2. Moore not thrilled. Moore batting .263 on the season with 14 RBIs. He's got the 2-2 count. That pitch misses low and inside. Moore really got hit yet again. It's a full count. The payoff pitch. Misses low, and there's ball 4. Chase Moore takes first. Runners on first and third. William Ragland up to bat.
Ragland comes into this one. He is 0 for 2 on the game tonight. With a sacrifice fly out to center field in the first, and he hit for a fielder's choice in the third and scored. He's due for a base hit in this one, especially with runners on the corners.
Yeah, he's had multiple runners in scoring position each time he's been up. Now with 2 outs on the board, Chase Moore retreats to first. Frankly, I'd be shocked if we didn't see Chase Moore steal here. Especially with how slow we see Dandino pitching. Ragland fouls off the first pitch he sees. The Doubledays lead 8-2 and don't want to strand any more runners here. They've scored in every inning so far, including this one, as Moore takes off the throw, down to second, will not be in time. Chase Moore makes it easily, and Luke Guire probably kicking himself for not taking home. He probably could have easily scored from third.
Yeah, I definitely think he had time to steal there.
It's an 0-2 count as Ragland barely stays alive. He clipped just enough of it. The second baseman down to his last strike. 2 runners in scoring position. It's Moore on second, Guire on third. The 0-2 pitch misses low and inside. After Ragland, it's Braden Michelson on deck. Michelson's 0 for 2 on the day, wants a chance to get his get back. There's a shot into center field. The play made by Gomez for the third out. The Doubledays had their lowest scoring inning of the game with just 1 run scored here in the 4th. The Doubledays lead by 6. We'll be back shortly in the top of the 5th inning. Back here, top of the fifth inning, Carlos Jara up to bat, and he does not swing at the first strike thrown by Jacob Morrell to kick off the fifth. Jara is the final batter in the order for the Pilots. Then it flips back around as they're making their second time through the lineup.
Why don't we just invite the whole stadium up here?
The fourth inning rally by the Pilots ended when Aiden Davenport was caught stealing,
I like it.
as the Pilots had Angel Gomez on first, Aiden Davenport on third with 2 outs in the top of the fourth inning. Gomez was stuck in an intentional pickle between first and second, and then Davenport got greedy, tried to take home as part of that play, and came up empty. That last pitch thrown by Morrell was behind the legs of Jara. Morrell, up to 85 pitches, has given up 2 runs, but has not yet given up a hit. Oh, and that one bounces off the head of Carlos Jara. The second time he's hit a Pilots player in the head today. And that's the 4th hit by a pitch he's given up. He's walked and hit a batter in every inning so far. That one looked rough. A fastball that beamed right off the helmet of Jara. And he's going to talk to his coaches after this, be checked out. As Morrell comes up, looks like to apologize. He shakes hands with Jara. He'll take first, but it looks like he's okay. He'll stay out there. That couldn't have felt good, though. Miles Castillo steps into the batter's box, the best hitter for the Pilots today, but he's just 0 for 1. He did score that first run back in the first inning.
Now batting the second baseman, number 16, Miles Castillo.
Castillo led off in both the first and third. This is his first time not being the leadoff batter in an inning. That pitch is fouled off by Castillo. Jara bouncing off of first. Morrell is yet to have a super clean inning, but again, just keeping the hits column clean. That's what's mattered here in today's contest, is the Pilots have been able to score, but not able to string together any rallies as a result of no hits. But there's the first base hit laid down. The announcer's jinx strikes again as Miles Castillo gets the first base hit, breaking up the no-hitter here in the 5th inning. Castillo gets the left field single. Carlos Jara advances to second.
This guy Ryan does a phenomenal job of announcers jinxes. I think he's on a streak of games where
a
he's
few games in a row.
jinxed a team.
But maybe now that you've said that, you'll announcers jinx me to next game not have an announcers
Oh, there you
jinx.
go. You know what? That's smart thinking.
Yeah, meta thinking right there. Matthew D'Ottavio up to bat with 2 runners on, no outs. The Pilots scored in the first and the fourth. Morrell trying to avoid back-to-back innings, giving up a run. Both of Morrell's runs given up have been unearned. An important statistic when it comes to his ERA after the game. He entered today's contest with an ERA of 3.52. As of right now, that'll be much lower after making it through nearly 5 full innings today. An 0-1 count to D'Ottavio. That pitch misses outside. Morrell now at 90 tosses on the day. Thanks for sticking with us here at Falcon Park as we hit 8:23 p.m. That pitch misses low and outside. One important note about these runners on first and second is that Each time they score, it makes it all the more difficult for the Doubledays to potentially pull off a mercy rule. The rule is 10 runs through 7 innings. Right now they lead by 6 through 4 total completed innings. The 2-1 pitch misses low and away. Morel is in some danger here. He's 1 ball away from loading the bases with no outs.
He's starting to struggle, and after the hit by pitch on Jara, we saw head coach for the Doubledays, Eaton, and then assistant coach Tim out there waving their hats to the bullpen to warm up the pitcher.
And there's strike 2. It looks like D'Ottavio thought he had the free path to first. Instead, he steps back in with a full count. Evan, that's a good pickup there. I see Will Sealer over in the bullpen. He was originally supposed to start this game, but made it to Falcon Park late today. Now the full count. That's hit into right center field. Will drop for a base hit, and it looks like it'll get near the warning track. It's gloved by Teddy Monahan. At least 1 run will score. 2 coming home. The throw going to be off target. The throw back over to third will not be in time. That turns into a double plus an extra base for Matthew D'Ottavio, but it drives in 2 runs for the Pilots.
Wow, what a way for the Doubledays for the Pilots, rather, to take advantage of Jacob Morel struggling and score some runs off of him here in the 5th. I mean, that was huge for them to get some runs back and start to diminish the Doubledays' lead. D'Ottavio did a phenomenal job of waiting for his pitch and smashing the ball, and then did a great job of getting an extra base on the throw-in.
So after the 2 RBI double, Matthew D'Ottavio has really put a damper on Jacob Morel's night as it comes to a close here. 2 earned runs, 4 total runs given up through 4 total innings of work as he leads the game in the 5th. We'll be back with you shortly to have more information on who this next pitcher for the Doubledays is. Back here in the top of the 5th inning, and it's a new pitcher for the Auburn Doubledays. Will Seiler is on the mound, and yes, he was supposed to start in today's contest. Instead, it was Jacob Morel taking the starter's role, and now Seiler will come in relief. And as an okay situation, no outs and a runner on third, but the bases aren't too jammed up for him. He'll kick off his day against Colden Forney, who is 0 for 1. Got hit by a pitch, but struck out in his last at-bat. The Doubledays lead by 4 here in the top of the 5th inning. Another high-scoring contest, but the Doubledays have been in control pretty much the entire time. It's been a little bit different than the last time these teams met up. That was all the way back on July 8th. That was a Newark home game, but the Doubledays eked out a narrow 9-8 victory over the Pilots in the last meeting between these teams. As there's a swing and a miss by number 3240.
This was supposed to be the starting pitcher. But I guess he was late getting here.
And another big whiff. He was chasing after those last 2 pitches. That was just 68 miles per hour by Seiler.
You can't see her because of the big dudes in between her.
Just at 8:30 p.m. here at Falcon Park.
She's by the home.
The 2-2 count. Just misses inside. We've got a full one for Seiler in his first at-bat.
And here's where Seiler could come in and take authority with a strikeout here and see who wins this at-bat, the payoff pitch coming up.
And no statement strikeout there. Instead, it's a walk, putting runners on the corners. 40 on first, D'Ottavio on third with Aiden Bolin stepping up to the plate.
Yeah. We haven't changed it.
For the starting pitcher tonight, and Jacob Morrell, it was an up and down outing. Two earned runs given up, 4 total runs. He had 5 strikeouts. Excuse me, yeah, 5 strikeouts, but he hit 4 batters and walked 4 as well. Excuse me, walked 3 batters. Now Seiler's already started his outing off with a walk. And the first pitch to Bolin missed for a ball, so does the second. The Doubledays had seemingly clinched this game through the 3rd and 4th innings, but now Newark is giving them a run for their money. As 40 takes off the throw, down to second is not in time. Will Ragland III thought he got him as he limps gingerly off of the bag. So that's a stolen base for Colden Forney. Matthew D'Ottavio did not try to score from third, but that puts 2 runners in scoring position with no outs. And Evan, you look like you disagreed with that call.
First off, I thought that on the hop, the tag from Ragland got the runner.
As there's a shot into right field, drops out of fair play.
But as I was saying, I thought that the throwdown on the hop led Ragland's glove right to the side of Forney. And it looked like an out from this angle, but I guess it wasn't an out from the field umpire. And then the second thing is, you said Ragland was limping. I saw him limping. I was concerned, but he appears to be okay.
Yeah, he's at the very minimum fighting through it out there. As that breaking ball misses upstairs. 2 straight batters with a full count for Seiler. Bolin's 0 for 2 today, struck out in his last appearance. Doesn't strike out this time, sends a rocket into center field. Teddy Monahan getting underneath it. He'll toss it in. Both runners tagging up, and Monahan's throw does not get in time. Monahan has a cannon of his own, but that ball was hit deep by Aiden Bolin. That turns into a sacrifice fly that makes it an 8-5 ball game.
And now, just like that, the Pilots have tied the Doubledays with the most runs in one inning. They have 3 runs scored here in the top of the 5th. The Doubledays did that in the bottom of the 2nd. Pilots are finally starting to build momentum.
And now it's Chris Babkowski, who he himself has also had an up and down game, and a weird one at that. But when he last appeared in the 4th inning, he walked and then came all the way around to score. At the time, that was just one of 2 runs for the Pilots and seemed to not be a huge deal. But now all these runs are adding up for Newark as the Pilots chase down the Doubledays. Babkowski quickly works his way to a 2-0 count. He fouls off that next pitch. Forney's still just 90 feet away from scoring.
What's that?
That breaking ball misses just low.
Wow. I mean, that was a disgusting pitch from Sealer there, but oof, I thought that one might have hit the zone, maybe missed just a tad bit inside. I'd throw that one again.
Had plenty of movement, just a little bit too much dip. That one was a fastball down the gut, however. Babkowski didn't go, and now we've got a full count yet again.
I'm surprised he came.
Seiler is taking his time with these batters. Now trying to get that second down, and there's the ring up. Babkowski goes down on strikes. He is frustrated with today's performance, but now Aiden Davenport steps up. He is 0 for 0 today after being hit by a pitch his last time up, walked in his first appearance. He's got a runner on third, 2 outs.
So how's his soundboard records? What the sound is?
Strike one falls in against Davenport. Davenport ended the rally in the fourth by being thrown out while trying to capitalize on the rundown between first and second. This time he cracks one up the middle. That's a base hit, getting just past the head of Will Seiler. And an RBI single there for Davenport makes it a 2-run game.
There you go. The Pilots have scored more runs in one inning in this game than the Doubledays did in their highest scored inning. And the Pilots are really starting to shell here in the top of the fifth and show that they have life at the plate.
They're showing they have life. They're showing they're not going to back down. They're really breathing down the necks of the Doubledays. As there's another shallow single that bounces back towards the right fielder, Ethan Smith. Smith gloves it, tosses it back into the infield. Runners on the corners as Davenport advances to third on the single. Jaden Pena with a great hit right there. Grant Ingram steps up to the plate with 2 runners on. The tying run would be on first, and Ingram himself would be the go-ahead run for the Pilots.
Jeez, I mean, this inning for the Pilots, they have been sharp at the plate. They keep going at the plate. They started out with a hit by pitch, then it was single, double, walk, and then a sac fly, and then single. I mean, couldn't ask for a better inning at the plate for the Pilots.
And Davenport's at-bat when he had the single marked the first at-bat in which Seiler did not go to a full count. And then Pena just swung at the first pitch he saw, picked up a second straight hit for the Pilots, and now Grant Ingram has worked his way to a 2-0 count. Seiler is somewhat on the ropes here. As a walk would load the bases. A deep shot into left field, but it looks like Brendan Smith will get underneath it. And there's out 3. The Doubledays still lead by 2, but it's a close one here at Falcon Park. We'll be back at the bottom of the 5th inning.
We're back for the bottom of the fifth inning as this one is smashed into left field by Braden Michelson. It was caught in the air by Grant Ingram for the first out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. A huge inning offensively for the Pilots in the top of the fifth, where they scored 4 runs. They scored 1 more run than the Doubledays did in their highest scored inning in the bottom of the second. And here comes a likely power source and Brendan Smith, who's 1 for 2 on the night with a flyout and a single. And he's facing off with a pitcher in Dan Dino, who does not throw the ball hard at all. His highest velocity pitch tonight clocked in at 64 miles per hour. Smith could do some damage here with one swing of the bat.
Yeah, the Pilots went through 9 of their 10 batters in their order back in the top of the fifth inning. Now it's up to Dan Dino to try to prevent the Doubledays from doing the same.
1-1 count to Smith as the Doubledays fans are starting to make some noise again after their energy was just straight destroyed out of them in the top of the fifth. Keep in mind, the Pilots entered the top of the fifth. The score was 8-2. It's now 8-6 Doubledays. Count's now tied 2-2 to Smith as you watch that one go by for a strike. Then Nino comes set from the stretch. Kick steals the pitch. That misses for a ball. And that's lucky there for Smith because that one looked close from up here. Count is 3-2. Smith steps back into the box, clears his mind. Then Dino comes set. The payoff pitch, and that one plugs him right in the leg. Smith tosses his bat, and he makes his way down first base with ease. That's the first hit by pitch given up by Dan Dino tonight. And he is going to face off against Connor Rupp, the shortstop, who is 2 for 2 on the game tonight. He hit for a single in the second, advanced on a pass ball and scored. And then in the third, he hit for a single and got left stranded on first base.
Yeah, I'm looking at Justin Dandino's stats from his senior year of high school, and it looked like he pitched a little bit in high school, hasn't pitched much in college because back then, in 2025, he registered as a player with about a 70-mile-per-hour fastball and a curveball that was at the high 50s. Now it seems like his fastball hovers right around 60, and his curveball is much lower than the 58 miles per hour that's reported that. So, yeah, I think he's just a little bit rusty from his pitching days.
And that means that the Pilots have gone through a lot of pitchers recently if they have to put in Dan Dino.
Yeah, and you look at it, over their last 2 outings, they've given up 37 runs. They still picked up a win yesterday against the Niagara Falls Americans, but they had to score 16 runs in that game to outpace the 14 they gave up.
Well, they've already given up 8 runs so far in this game. So if you do the math, that's 45 runs.
Wow.
In a few games. That's 15 runs per game that they give up.
Now, to be fair, that 23-0 loss to Elmira is doing a lot of the heavy lifting
No,
there.
that does not help at all. This one is swung on and missed by Rumpf. He's now down in the count 0-2. Dandino gives the runner on first a look and Smith. There goes Smith. He takes off the second. Dandino gave him a look, and then Smith decided to go. Brendan Smith showing off his wheels on the base path. Picks up a stolen base. Not sure what happened with Dandino there. It looked like he had Smith frozen at first base. Instead, he's able to pick up a stolen base. The pitch on the way, a breaking ball. Just misses the zone. Connor Rumpf, lucky there. He's going to make his way down the first base line with ease, as that is a walk given up. Here comes Jake Bentavanga, who's 1 for 2 on the night with a single and fly out to left field. He's working with 1 out and 2 runners on. The infield fly rule is in play, however, with runners on first and second. But chase that. There's a double steal by the Auburn Doubledays. There's a throw down to second. It is wild as it pulled Castillo off the bag. The double steal is successful. Ruff is on second base with a stolen base. And Brendan Smith, his second stolen base on the night, is 90 feet away from scoring. Jake Bendavango, one swing of the bat, and scored 2 runs. And that's what the Doubledays need, now only ahead by 2. The pitch. This one's going to be hit in the air, first base side. Running over is Pena. He makes the catch in front of them on the run. Wow, what a play by the first baseman, Jaden Pena, to pick up the second out on a catch that looked like it was completely unorthodox, somehow able to come up with it. The lineup will flip over again. Here's Ethan Smith in his 4th at-bat on the night. He's 2 for 2 with a single, a double, and a hit by pitch. He's working with 2 outs and still 2 runners on. And it looks like something happened with Pena. Not sure if he pulled his groin or his leg or his arm attempting to make the catch, but he's definitely a tad bit shaken up. As the Doubledays trainer is going to make his way out there to go visit Pena and make sure that he's okay.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he stays in the game here. With the nature of that type of injury, anything related to the groin, you want to just sit that out, especially, well, this is a relatively close game. You know, Auburn's still in the lead. You probably just want to make sure your guy's totally healthy as opposed to forcing him to stay in a regular season game.
And it looks like the trainer's still going to be talking with Pena. But it looks like this might be it for Pena at first base. Not sure if he'll get some at-bats. But number 19 for the Pilots is going to make his way out to first base to replace Pena. That's Liam Wagner in place of Pena.
Yeah, and Liam Wagner this season has been not only one of the best hitters on the Pilots, batting .293, but he also has a fielding percentage of 1,000. So not a shocker that they put him out there as the pinch fielder.
Smart move by the Pilots. So now here comes Ethan Smith with 2 outs and 2 runners on, and Wagner's going to take some warm-up throws over at first base. He appears to be okay. Looks like umpire is going to stay behind Babkowski, and it looks like the first pitches to Ethan Smith are underway. Dandino set from the stretch, both runners off. The pitch. This one's a bunt swing. Collecting it is Jara, and he makes the play to first base in time. The Doubledays leave 2 runners stranded. They were unable to get hits off of Dandino. They were able to get on first due to a hit by pitch and a walk. It's still an 8-6 ball game. We are going to make our way to the top of the 6th. We'll be right back. Top six scores 8-6. So leading off for the Newark Pilots is the left fielder Grant Ingram, who steps up to the plate 0 for 2. And he is going to face off against Sealer still. Excuse me, that's Xavier Gomez, who steps up to the plate.
Yeah, Seiler's first pitch missed up high for ball 1.
This one's popped up. First base side, running over to it is the first baseman for the Doubledays, Braden Michelson, as that is the first out here in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, I'll see it. I don't think it won't be,
That was Angel Gomez that popped up first base side. And here's Carlos Jara, who had an inning-ending play to first base to retire Ethan Smith. He's working with 1 out and no one on. First pitch to him, misses for a ball.
Yeah, Jara was the first runner to get on in that 5th inning rally for the Pilots. He got hit by a pitch and then eventually made it all the way around the bases to score.
He goes, I only speak English. I was like, oh no. He was so cute. He was adorable.
Counts
He was really
2-0.
excited, though, yeah.
Pitch on the way. This one's in there for a strike. Count is 2-1.
Really? What made them
2-1. Breaking ball. Just missed.
Will Seiler this season has a 6.53 ERA, making his 5th appearance here. He started every game prior to this one. Again, was going to start. Ended up coming in relief in this showing and has a 1-1 record.
This one's popped up out of play, first base side. It looked like that. The count was 3-1. The count is now full to Jara.
That's nice.
Jara steps up to the plate, set.
That's nice. That's nice.
The
Alright,
payoff
I'll be back.
pitch on the way. It's chopped on the ground, shortstop side. Ruff collects it. Throw to first. It's in time, says the field umpire. A beautiful play by the shortstop Rumpf and a phenomenal extended grab by the first baseman Braden Michelson to pick up the second out here in the top of the 6th.
Wow, with the way that Rumpf was running and the ball was dragging him away from first, I thought he wouldn't have enough juice to be able to make the throw, but somehow he got just enough power on it.
Here comes Miles Castillo as the lineup flips over for the 3rd time tonight for the Pilots. Castillo walked, grounded out, and hit a single. So far tonight, he has had an at-bat in just about every other inning. He scored and hit for a single in the 5th. He's working with a 1-1 count and 2 outs. Pitch from Sealer. Just misses for a ball. Count is 2-1. That's in there for a strike. Count is 2-2. And here goes the 2-strike, 2-out siren.
Would be a big get for Seiler, would crush some of the momentum that Newark has generated.
This one's hit, just gets past the glove of Sealer. Ragland dives for it, cannot come up with it. And going to second base, but holding up is Castillo. Looks like he was going to go into second base and try to lay out a double. Instead, Monahan gets it in time to keep him on first base. So a single from Castillo keeps the inning alive with 2 outs. That's back-to-back hits for him. And here comes Matthew D'Ottavio. Struck out in the 1st, walked and picked up a stolen base in the 3rd, hit for a double in the 5th and scored.
Hey, that double by D'Ottavio ended the night of Jacob Burrell. It was an absolutely crushing hit that completely changed the trajectory of this game.
Up first is Castillo, keeping him close as Michelson. I'm assuming he's going to go here. Does not, and that one plunks D'Ottavio right in his back. Doesn't show that he's in any signs of pain. Castillo walks to second, and the Pilots yet again have life with 2 outs.
After 2 quick outs to start the inning, it looked like for the first time today we wouldn't see a Pilots base runner get on, but now we see 2 here, and the Pilots have gotten 2 in every inning so far.
Here's Colden Forney. Both runners off. The pitch to Forney is in there for a strike. Forney was hit by a pitch in the first, struck out swinging in the third, and then in the fifth, walked and scored. The leading run is at the plate right now for the Pilots, down 8-6. Sealer gives Castillo a look off second. Castillo's looking like he's anxious off of second base, like he wants to go. Instead, he holds up, heads back to the bag. Count's tied 1-1 to Forney. Sealer again gives Castillo a look. Comes set, kicks, deals. This one's going to bloop into center field. Drops for a base hit. In front of Monahan, he throws the third. The throw is not in time. A run comes in for the Pilots. Castillo scores from second. Advancing to third base is Matthew D'Ottavio. And on second base is Colden Forney. And just like that, it's an 8-7 ball game. The Pilots are now down by only a single run. They have inched their way all the way back into this game in just 2 innings of play.
It's been a crazy turnaround. A good throw there from Teddy Monahan, but just not enough to get out D'Ottavio. And with the RBI single there, Will Seiler's in some trouble.
Here comes Aiden Bolin. 0 for 3 on the night. First pitch to him is swung on and missed. Two outs. D'Ottavio off of third. Off of second is Forney. Sealer comes set, kicks, deals. This one swung on a miss. Counts 0-2. And there's the siren with 2 outs.
Seiler has caught Bolin swinging both times. We'll see if he'll continue to have his number.
The 0-2. This one's fouled off. Bolin stays alive. The 0-2. This one's hit. And gloving it is the shortstop Rumpf, but he cannot make the play. A run comes in for the Pilots as D'Ottavio scored from third. On third base is Forney. That's a single for Aiden Bolin. And the Doubledays have given up 6 runs in 2 innings, and the game is tied 8-8.
Wow. Just a complete and utter turnaround for the Doubledays here. It looked like it was an easy Auburn win, maybe even a mercy rule. And now we've got the team gathering around Seiler to try to just figure out what's going on as the game's tied now.
This is Johnny. I'm the general manager. Thank you so much for coming out this evening. What a great night for baseball and a great crowd. So thank you very
Here's
much.
Christopher Babkowski, the catcher. He steps up to this one. He's 1 for 2 on the night. He walked and scored in the fourth.
I also want to just mention that we have a special guest in the house tonight. For those that remember when we were part of the New York Penn the Toronto Blue Jays played here. Mr. Zach Altman is here tonight. He played for us in 2009, 2010.
2 outs, runners on the
Zach, can you
corners.
stand up and let everyone give you a huge round
And there
of
goes the
applause?
runner to second, and throwing down, trying to get the runner off of third, is Benton Venga. So that's a stolen base for Aiden Bolin.
Thank you so much, guys.
2 runners in scoring position for the Pilots. And Babkowski, who already has a hit on the night, would do some damage here and put the Pilots up front the swing of a bat. He swings at this one, first base side, and it is well out of play in the bullpen for the Pilots. So on second base is Bolin, on third is Forney. The 2-strike, 2-out siren has gone off yet again. Sealer well ahead in the at-bat. Excuse me, it's 1-1, not 1-2. So the 1-1 on the way. A breaking ball. This one's fouled off. And now our video board guy can play the 2-strike, 2-out siren. Jumped the gun, got ahead of himself. It threw me off, too.
Unbelievable, Jimmy. We'll throw his name out there.
Counts 1-2. Both runners off. Steeler needs to try to escape this one. The pitch on the way. This one's fouled off, first base side. Another souvenir for the young fans here at Falcon Park. A very packed house here at Falcon Park. Babkowski set in the box. The 1-2 on the way. And this one gets away from Bentavega. A run will come in for the Pilots off of a wild pitch from Sealer. 9-8. Newark Pilots, they have completely flipped this game around, and they lead by 1.
That's the second time today we've seen a variation of a wild pitch or passed ball come back to bite the Doubledays. And now that was the go-ahead run for Newark. Auburn will be playing from behind for the first time since the first inning.
Forney scored. Boland's on third. Babkowski is now working with a full count approach. He's now set in the box. Sealer set on the mound. The payoff pitch on the way. This one's cracked into center field. Monahan underneath it makes the grab for the third out. The damage has been done here in the 6th. As 3 runs have come in, 7 runs have been scored by the Newark Pilots in 2 innings. They lead this one 9-8. The script has flipped. The Pilots are leading. We're going to make our way to the bottom of the 6th. We'll be right back. Bottom 6, 9-8 Newark Pilots. Teddy Monahan steps up to the plate. The script has completely flipped. It was 8-2 at one point, Doubledays. The Pilots now lead this one. I mean, what a turn of events in 2 innings of play. As this one is cracked into center field, a drop for a base hit in front of Angel Gomez. Monahan hopefully gets things going for the Doubledays here in the bottom of the 6th with a single in the center field.
The same way that Matthew Diatavio had that 2 RBI double back in the 5th inning to really swing this game around, I think that could be the pendulum coming back to the Doubledays with that hit by Monahan right there.
And here comes Luke Wire. He's 0 for 2 on the night with a fly out to center field, an error, and a walk. There's the pickoff attempt. Still off first. This one misses for a ball. McGuire. Gandino's down the count 1-0. The pitch. This one's broke from the left field. Has a lot of altitude to it, however. And underneath it is Grant Ingram for the first out. I mean, that one would have been a home run if the fence was in the air. In left field. Set it on the ground. Had the height, no distance. There's the first out.
Maybe closer to the gates of heaven than the left field wall.
Here's Justin Batts working with 1 out. We saw Michelson in for him at first base, but Batts clearly still hitting. First pitch to him is in there for a strike. And that's the problem with slow pitches being thrown in, is power hitters are used to fast pitches that they can crush. Slow pitches, it kind of throws their balance off, it throws their swing off, it slows their trajectory and angle off. Slow pitches basically get it done, and we see it in the major leagues as well. And there goes the runner to second. Monahan finally gets his stolen base. The runner in scoring position for the Auburn Doubledays. Good job by Monahan to pick up his stolen base. He's got a few on the night so far. 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 4th, and now 1 here in the 6th. He's already off of second. Castillo keeps him close. Betts crushes this one foul, first base side.
Yeah, and you talk about Monahan being active on the bases today. He entered tonight's contest with 12 stolen bases, a team high mark. He's always, and it helps when you get on more than anyone else on the team, but he's also just somebody who's always looking to get an extra base.
Wow, when the 1-2 Betts doesn't swing at a curveball that clocked in at 59 miles per hour, he's going to regret watching that one go by. That's strike 3, and that's a backwards K in the books. Gandino for the second out here at the bottom of the 6th. The Doubledays fans are trying their best to give the Doubledays some life. Here's Chase Moore. Watch his first pitch go by for a ball.
It took 3 innings, but Dandino finally able to record his first strikeout of the game. Wasn't able to get one in either the 4th or the 5th.
Dandino pitches. This one's hit on the ground. Shortstop Carlos Garra collects. Throw to first is in time. And again, the Doubledays struggle off of the slow pitching by Dandino as they get a hit in Teddy Monahan. And then from there, they go 3 up, 3 down. 9-8 is the score. We'll be right back here in the top of the 7th as the Doubledays are down 9-8. We're back for the top of the 7th. It's 9-8 Pilots. Leading off for them is Aiden Davenport. As he watches the first pitch go by for a strike. We are underway here in the top of the 7th. Pilots have 7 hits on the game. The Doubledays have 8. Pilots have 2 errors in the field compared to the Doubledays 1.
And actually, the Doubledays up to 9 hits on the day, it looks like, as there's a discrepancy between the scorebook and the scoreboard.
Easy.
That one misses for a ball. Count is 2-1 to the lefty Davenport. On the game, he walked in the 2nd, was hit by a pitch in the 4th. Then in the 5th, he hit a single. This one's in there for a strike. Count is tied 2-2. And for the Doubledays, you're going to want to escape this inning without giving up any runs, as they clearly have no momentum at the plate. They have not scored a run since the 4th inning. Count is now full to Davenport. Payoff pitch coming up on deck. It's a pitch batter, number 19, Liam Wagner. The payoff pitch. This one's fouled off towards the Pilots head coach, third base line.
Yeah, we saw Wagner replace Pena out in the field at first base when Pena came up a little ginger with that groin injury. Now it just makes sense to put Wagner in, especially in a game where we could see the Pilots win it. Wagner's one of the best hitters they've got.
This one's waved on. A strikeout against Davenport. Huge for Salem there, as that is the first out here in the top of the 7th. So 1 out. That'll bring up the pitch batter Wagner. Is going to face off against Seiler.
Seiler up to 2 strikeouts on the day after that one. Wagner this season batting .293, slugging .366, brings some power to the table for the Pilots. That batting average is 4th on the squad. That pitch nearly clipped him right there. Batters never saved the batter's box today.
Counts 1-0. Seiler comes set, kick steal. This one smacked into left field, foul. And that one had some speed and distance to it, however, could not stay right of the line and goes foul. Count is now tied 1-1. It is pitch black here in Auburn. Time is 9:13 p.m. A long but eventful game.
Yeah, certainly a long game. We're already up to just shy of 3 hours.
This one's fair in the left field. Smith redeems himself from earlier for the second out in F7. In the books, as Wagner is retired with 2 outs. That'll bring up Grant Ingram, the left fielder. Yet to pick up a hit in this one. He's 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts. 1 to the pitcher in the 2nd, and 1 to the right fielder, center fielder in the 4th. Seiler pitch steals the pitch. This one's in there for a strike, 0-1.
Looked like Ingram checked himself there, but should have went, as it was ultimately ruled a looking strike.
0-1. This one swung on and missed. Count is 0-2. And there goes the 2-strike, 2-out siren again. Seiler. Pick steals. The pitch. Breaking ball. This one's roped just past the glove of the diving Chase Moore. It is a foul ball. That could have been an inning-ending phenomenal play by the third baseman Moore. Instead, it just misses his glove, and it keeps that alive for Ingram.
Even though he didn't get to it, that was still a brilliant display of athleticism. I don't know how he laid out for it like that.
The 0-2. That's high for ball 1. One, two, breaking ball. Strike 3, backwards K, disgusting from Seiler. And Ingram cannot believe that he just struck out looking gave it to the home plate umpire before he walks off. 2 strikeouts for Seiler in the top of the 7th. 9-8 Pilots. The Doubledays need some runs. We're going to make our way to the bottom of the 7th. We'll be right back. Bottom 7, 9-8 Pilots. William Ragland steps up to the plate. He's facing off against Dandino. He is 0 for 3 on the game with a sac fly, fielder's choice, and a fly out. Watch the first one go by for a strike. The Doubledays in the 5th and 6th did not score any runs at all. They were on a hot streak of 4 innings in a row scoring runs. Do right now, down by 1, as that one is called a strike by the home plate umpire. Count is 0-2. Calling timeout is Ragland. I think just trying to clear his head because you could tell he was visibly upset with the strike 2 call. Gonna get some extra swings in. Doubledays fans starting to make some life, realizing there's not much game left. The need to get some momentum going for the Doubledays. Dandino comes set. The 0-2. This one's hit into center field for a base hit. Nubbed off of the end of the bat. A single for Ragland. And here's where one hit could start something for the Doubledays. As Braden Michelson steps up to the plate.
That's now consecutive innings where the Doubledays leadoff batter got a base hit with a single up the middle. Now it's just to see if the Doubledays can actually support that base hit with some more, as opposed to last inning where they got 3 straight outs after that.
There's the pickoff attempt at first. It is not in time. Count is 0-1. Pitch. It's just missed for a ball. Count is 1-1. My apologies there. Thought that one was in for a strike. The 1-1, that misses for a ball outside. Count is 2-1. Up first is Ragland. Dandino giving him looks. Kick steal, the 2-1. This one's fouled off. 2-2.
Michelson struggling with timing. That's kind of how it's been for the Doubledays throughout this entire game against this Canadian relief pitcher. He's gone through nearly 4 innings now, and after scoring 1 run in the 4th, they've been shut out since then.
There's another pickoff attempt to try to keep Ragland on first. Count is tied 2-2, and you can feel the bleachers shaking up here in the press box.
Yeah.
The young fans here at Falcon Park really getting into the game. What you love to see is young fans getting into it.
100%.
2-2. This one's popped up. Well out of play, first base side. Ricochets off the umbrella in the right field deck. That was sponsored to you by Gatorade.
In fact, it was. Are you a Gatorade guy or a Powerade guy, Evan?
Gatorade.
That's
I like a good blue Powerade, but Gatorade is just kind of the OG. I think I like their blue better.
You do have to respect the original.
I like, what is it, Cool Blue? And then there's one that's a darker blue that's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's cool blue.
And then I
Yeah,
like
it's the one.
Fruit Punch. Those, and I think there's Grape. That's pretty good.
Grape is good, but I actually think the Powerade grape is a little bit better.
Might be right there. That one misses for a ball. Michelson could not believe it. Sure, he also wanted some more pitches in the at-bat to try to work a hit. But he walks. Here comes Brendan Smith with 2 runners on. He's 1 for 2 on the night with a fly out, single, and hit by pitch.
I could definitely see the Doubledays trying to pull off a double steal here. They've got 2 fast runners on.
That misses for a ball. Doubledays up to 10 hits on the game. Double-digit hits compared to the 7 hits for the Pilots, but they still are down by 1. And there's the double steal, like Ryan called. No throw from Christopher Katkowski. Advancing to second safely is Brandon Michelson, and advancing to third is William Ragland.
He must not have had a great grip on that ball because he was never catching Ragland at third. But I thought he could have caught Michelson down at second. He looked, he aimed, but he never actually made the throw.
Ragland off third, creeping down. The 2-0. This one's going to be ripped to the center field for a base hit. Ragland will score. Being held up at third is Michelson. A RBI single for Brendan Smith to tie the game 9-9.
Huge hit there from Brendan Smith. He had that RBI single back in the third, doubles up on them here in the 7th, and the Doubledays have tied it up. They still needed the hits column by 4, but here's the chance to really put the nail in the coffin and take a lead here.
And the Doubledays are doing this with 0 outs. They have 2 runners on. There's a pickoff attempt to try to keep Brendan Smith close on first. Connor Rump has 2 hits on the night. The only Doubledays hitters tonight with 2 hits. Dandino comes set, kicks, deals. This one misses for a ball. Counts 1-0. No outs. Smith on first. Michelson off third. Doubledays finally end their bid of not scoring any runs. This one's roped in the left field for a base hit. Michelson will score. The Doubledays go up 10-9 here in the bottom of the 7th. Finally, the Doubledays bats have life after 2 innings that they go back-to-back without scoring any runs. An RBI single for Connor Rump that scores Michelson. Smith on second. Jake Bentavenga to up to the plate, and it looks like this is it for Dandino as the coach for the Pilots makes the call to the bullpen.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a great outing for Dandino, but all of a sudden things just collapsed here at the 7th as the Doubledays finally got their timing correct. Now Auburn's back in the driver's seat. They still have runners on. They still don't have an out this inning. The Pilots are in rough shape here, bottom of the 7th. They're conferencing on the mound, trying to figure out if Dandino's staying in the game. His pitch count's nothing crazy, just 66.
It looked like the coach for the Pilots waved to the bullpen, said, "Come on, you're up." But I guess I'm wrong there. That's my apologies. Maybe he said warm up.
Seems like that's what it is. It's a
No
warm-up.
one's coming out right now. So Dandino might still be out there on the mound. Doubledays are huddling up. Coach Eaton and both assistant coaches named Tim. Looks like they're having a meeting. Not sure if they were planning on working with a new pitcher, but instead they're going to face off against Dandino. And here's Jake Ventavanga, the catcher, the 10th batter in their lineup tonight. Started off the game with a single and scored in the second. He has flown out twice in back-to-back at-bats. He is due, especially with momentum. 0 outs, both runners off their bases. And that one, look out, almost clips Ventavanga. He had to move out of the way of that one. That could have been ugly.
That's the second pitch from Dandino we've seen behind the legs of a batter. When he's wild, he's really wild.
Laying down a bunt is Ventavanga. Both runners double steal yet again. It's successful again. The Doubledays are undefeated when it comes to double stealing.
Yeah, if I had to guess, that's what the assistant coaches were talking about. And the Doubledays executed perfectly here. Now 2 runners in scoring position, still no outs on the board.
The 1-1. This one's going to be roped into right field. Running back is Aiden Davenport. It's over his head and ricochets off the wall. Smith will score with ease. Here comes Rump, making his way to third base. It's Ventavanga. He's out on the throw from Aiden Davenport, and he appears to be injured. But that's a bases-clearing hit for Jake Ventavanga that puts the Doubledays up 12-9. But Ventavanga appears to be shaken up over at third base. Not good. The Doubledays look to be stunned as Ventavanga is clearly hurt. Oh boy.
Yeah, that really puts a damper on what was otherwise an amazing moment for Auburn. They lead 12-9 now, but your catcher's down, and you never want to see that.
Trainer for the Doubledays is out there working Ventavanga's leg. I'm not sure if he got hurt running or on the sliding attempt he pulled something or if he jammed it. But he is out regardless, and he's going to hobble off the field grimacing in pain. Doubledays are going to meet him. We're getting that double and scoring runs and check on him. Ask him if he's all right and what happened. I mean, a huge moment for Ventavanga that abruptly takes a turn as he is injured. That's a double, then an out on a phenomenal throw from Davenport.
Yeah, just some great teamwork. Great teamwork by the Pilots to get it back in. Auburn still has a 3-run advantage, but it could have been worse.
This was right to the glove of Dandino for the second out. Ethan Smith, one pitch for the second out. Ethan Smith was having himself a night at the plate. That was his 5th at bat. 1-3 put out for the second out. Here comes Teddy Monahan, who is 2 for 3 on the night. He scored twice, has a walk, 2 singles. This one's roped in the left field. Running back is Grant Ingram, makes the catch on the run. My bad for getting all of you viewers excited at home. I thought that one was going to ricochet off the wall. Unlucky for Monahan. That's F7 to end the inning. So the Doubledays finally have some life at the plate. They tie Newark's most runs scored in an inning with 4. They're up 12-9. We're going to make our way to the top of the 8th. We'll be right back. Top of the eighth, 12-9, Auburn Doubledays. They scored 4 runs in the bottom of the seventh. And stepping up to the plate is Angel Gomez, who was 0 for 3 on the game tonight. The pitch from Seiler misses for a ball. Count is 1-0.
Seiler nearing the total pitch count of Jacob Morales. They've split this one about 50-50.
This one swung on a miss. Strike one of the at-bat.
We're now over 3 hours into the game here, and we're just sniffing this 8th inning.
1-1. That's high for ball 2. 2-1 count on a beautiful night for some summer night baseball. Lights are on in full. And this one's popped up. Taking off his mask appears to be Jose Taveras, who's in for the injured Jake Bentavanga. Count is now tied 2-2. Seiler looking for the first out here, as the Doubledays are going to want to go 1-2-3 here at the top of the 8th to get some insurance runs in the bottom to try to win it at the top of the 9th. Seiler kicks, steals. The 2-2 breaking ball. Ooh, that one was close.
That one was close, but it looked like Gomez almost leaned into it more than that pitch came close to the batter itself.
Count is now full 3-2. The payoff pitch. This one's popped up out of play. And staying alive is Gomez. He's had 2 strikes on for a few pitches now.
We are kids that would like to do it today.
Seiler steps off. Get some new signs from Taveras. The payoff. This one's roped in the air. First base side, running over
What's up?
is Michelson or Ragland. No one can come up with it. And Gomez slammed his bat in frustration. He thought he popped up. Instead, he's going to take a huge deep breath and make his way back to the box and still work with a 3-2 count. Not sure if he was upset with himself because he thought he popped up or because he chased a pitch he knew was a ball. But regardless, he gets to redeem himself here and waste even more of Seiler's pitch count.
They're like, hey guys, we're going to start in just a couple minutes. They ask the all the roll walk, and then like maybe like 2 minutes before the fireworks come on the field.
3-2, breaking ball. That's ball 4, and Gomez works a walk.
Gomez was really leaning inside there. I thought that might have been in the strike zone, albeit maybe a little upstairs.
Carlos Jara steps up to the plate. He's 0 for 2 on the night. Round out and a double play ball. He was hit by a pitch in the 5th. Off first already is Gomez. Seiler gives him a look. Gets deals. This one's going to be hit in the air, out of play. First base side.
Tavares has to chase down his helmet, which came off of his head there. Seiler now at 75 total pitches.
0-1. This one's going to be hit over the glove of Ragland, who had a great jump on it. Teddy Monahan will collect it in center field. The throw into second base. Not in time. The crowd thought that that was out, and they thought that they got Carlos Jara. A beautiful throw from Monahan. The tag was just not in time. A double from Carlos Jara and advancing to third base is Angel Gomez. Not good for the Doubledays here, as the tying run is at the plate. Carlos Jara, electric at second base. He was hyped, showing off his double celebration to his teammates.
And it's Miles Castillo at the plate, arguably the best hitter on this Pilot squad.
Chops this one off. First base side foul. He is 2 for 3 on the night with a walk and scored the first, rounded out in the 3rd for back-to-back singles in the 5th and 6th. Both runners off their bases. Count is 0-1 to Castillo. Seiler kicks, steals. Breaking ball. Finds the strike zone. Count is 0-2. Oh, 2. This one's fouled off. The Pilots have done a phenomenal job tonight. When they get down in the count, they stay alive somehow with 2 strikes.
And they've done it whether they're pitching or whether they're hitting. Both times, they've fought back valiantly.
0-2. This one's going to be hit. Almost clips the runner. Collecting his run throw to third. Is in time, says the field umpire. Scoring, however, is Angel Gomez. Carlos Jara out trying to advance to third.
Great play there by Connor Rumpf, making the heads-up decision, throw it to Moore, even though it's not a force out, because you trust that your third baseman can apply the tag correctly.
12-10 Doubledays as the Pilots score 1 here in the top of the 8th. A fielder's choice RBI hit for Miles Castillo. There's 1 out, and stepping up to the plate is Matthew Diotavino. Excuse me, Diotavio.
Tavio has to step out there as Seiler resets on the mound.
So 1 runner on, and Castillo. 1 out. The pitch. This one misses for a ball.
Castillo just 3 stolen bases this season.
1-0. This one's fouled off. Third base side. Doubleday's bat boy will go out and hustle after that one. Look at his wheels.
He's got a motor out there. That's a future Doubleday if I've ever seen one.
Castillo off of first. Seiler gives him a look. Castillo inches to second. He looks like he's ready to pounce. There he goes to second. This one's popped up in the air. Tavares is going to almost run into the home plate umpire, but come up with it. Tavares with a phenomenal catch, having to do with the home plate umpire almost in his way in an unbalanced, unorthodox catch for the second out. And the little kid in front of the camera loves that one.
Yeah, you can see his hands going up and down, and that pretty much personified exactly what the entire Doubledays crowd was doing here today. They loved that play by the catcher.
That's the second out. Tavares with a phenomenal catch there in the air, and having to make his way back to first was Castillo. Here's Colton Forney. He watches that one go by for a strike. Count is 0-1 with 2 outs. 12 hits on the night for the D-Days. 8 hits for the Pilots. 13, Ryan holds up his fingers. Scoreboard operator is sleeping over there
He's
tonight.
slacking.
We love you, Jimmy.
Sometimes. When he does his job correctly.
Jimmy knows we love him.
Of course.
Castillo off first. This one is swung and a miss. 2 strike, 2 out siren has gone off yet again. Colton Forney, who hit for a single in the 6th and scored, has reached first base safely 3 times out of 4 tonight. Seiler comes set, kicks, steals. This one's hit right to the first baseman, Michelson, who collects it, steps on first for the 3rd out. A 3 unassisted in the books for the 3rd out. The Pilots score 1, leave 1 stranded. It is 12-10 Doubledays. Here we go to the bottom of the 8th, where the Doubledays look to add more insurance like State Farm. We'll be right back for that on the Doubledays YouTube channel. Bottom 8, an exciting game. 12-10 Auburn Doubledays. We have some updates in the chat. Jamestown won 9-0.
Cam Churchill with a no-hitter went the entire game. We saw Jacob Morrell doing that for a while here. Wasn't able to finish it off.
Batavia Muck Dogs are losing to Elmira 6-2.
That would be a pretty big upset.
So shout out to Cam Miller 5516 for the updates. As this one is blasted left field side out of play by Luke Wire. Count is tied 1-1.
We provide these updates around the league, but this game is a huge matchup for the Doubledays as, they've got some leverage on either side of them. They're 3 games behind Jamestown, 2.5 games ahead of Elmira, right now sitting at 3rd. They don't want to get caught towards Elmira. They want to be fighting Jamestown for that 2-3 seed as opposed to trying to keep a playoff spot alive. And then for Newark, they're just mired last. Not too huge of a game for them. They're just trying to have some pride in their record with a 5-20 mark on the campaign.
Dandino working with a 1-2 count. Kick steals. This one's roped into right field, but underneath it is Aiden Davenport. Luke Wire upset with himself that he flew out. There's one out here in the bottom of the 8th, and that will bring up the known power source, Justin Batts.
Batts with 2 RBIs today. Nothing more than a single in the first inning, though. We'll see if he's able to provide some action of his own here.
1-0 to him. Batts, like you said, a single in the first, walked and scored in the 3rd, flew out right field in the 4th, and then a back to K in the 6th. Dribbles this one up the first base line. Dandino collects it, throw to first. Wow, is in time. That looked like a play that Big Sexy would have done, the Major League pitcher. I mean, that was a phenomenal barehanded flip to first base for the second out. That's a 1-3 putout. And there are quickly 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th.
I think Batts right on the inside side of the line to make that throw all the more difficult for Dandino, but Dandino still somehow flipped it up over Batts' large frame and got it to Wagner in time.
Here's Chase Moore. Hits this one down third base line. And it gets past the glove of the third baseman, Diotavio. An error on the third baseman. And that's one that he's going to want back. It was a dribbler that got past his glove. That should be an E5 in the books. And Chase Moore reaches first base safely for the 4th time out of 5 tonight. He's 80% on the night.
Yeah, rare mistake for Diotavio. Just his 3rd error of the season. And that kind of checks up as that would have been too quick of a half inning. We don't have quick half innings in today's game.
Here's a 49-mile-per-hour pitch.
Wow.
From Dandino to Ragland. And Ragland hit for a single in the 7th and scored. He picked up a stolen base. Watches 2 go by. It's ball 2.
Dandino is now over the 80 pitch threshold. He's lasted a long time into this one.
He's taken off 10 miles per hour off of his fastball here in the bottom of the 8th. Actually, almost 15. We saw him get up to 64 miles per hour. He's now at 49. This might be the game plan for the Pilots here. That one clocked in at 72.
Much different, but because there's another ball out there on the field somehow. Well, yeah, 4-pitch walk. Way different, though, out of Dandino.
Where did that one come from Dandino as Ragland works a walk? On second is Chase Moore. Here's Braden Michelson. Both runners advance, a double steal, no budge from Christopher Bapkowski. The Doubledays, their double steal is just so fitting for them. It works perfectly they pull it off so effortlessly. It's so fun to watch.
Yeah, Batkowski is just giving up trying to throw it out, too.
Yeah, he didn't even make an attempt to try to pick off Ragland or Chase Moore. Moore's on third, Ragland's on second. 0-2 count to Michelson, who walked and scored in the seventh. The pitch. Whoa, look out. Batkowski had to collect that one. 48 miles per hour.
And that seemed dangerous because it was behind the back of Michelson. Would have been at 48 miles per hour. They could bounce off Michelson and probably would just drop straight down. It wouldn't even impact him. That's exactly what just happened. Right at Michelson, and it just drops. He doesn't look hurt whatsoever.
That's what happens when you get hit by a slow pitch. Thankfully, it's not going to hurt as bad.
That might be the end of the road for Justin Dandino, as he had the same conversation with the head coach of the Pilots and Johnny T. Brown the last inning. And yeah, I think that's the end of Dandino's night after he entered this game in the fourth.
12-10 Doubledays. We're going to step away as the new pitcher warms up for the Pilots. We'll be right back.
No, I'm not.
Aiden Bolin in the pitch, 12-10 Doubledays. We saw Aiden Bolin batting as the extra hitter in the cleanup spot tonight, where he went 1 for 4 at the plate. Comes in the pitch for Dandino.
And he's making his Pilot's debut on the mound tonight.
Facing off against Brendan Smith, who on the night is 2 for 3 with a fly out, 2 singles, and a hit by pitch. Doubledays fans chanting Brendan's name.
Yeah, Chance and Brendan are rigging out. Love to see it from the Falcon faithful. They've really showed up well tonight.
Outside 1-1. This one's fouled off. 1-2.
Bolin's out of St. Michael's College, where he really doesn't pitch it all there.
1-2. Break ball. This is upstairs. 4-2.
Now the Doubledays have to readjust. They were used to mid-50s pitches. Now you're back up to 70s, 80s.
The pitch. This one's roped into center field. Running back is Angel Gomez. He makes the play on the run and falls down. Wow. What a play by the center fielder, Angel Gomez. That's the third out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. I mean, what a play by the center fielder. 12-10 Doubledays lead. They're going to have to hold the Pilots in the top of the 9th if they don't want it to go to the bottom of the 9th. Doubledays up by 2 in an exciting close game. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Top of the 9th inning. 12-10 Auburn Doubleday. Stepping up to the plate is the pitcher for the Pilots, number 15, Aiden Bolin, who, like we said, is 1 for 4 at the plate tonight. In his last at-bat in the 6th, he hit for a single and got left stranded at third base. And we know in the 6th, the Pilots scored 3 runs, as this one is smashed in the air center field. Teddy Monahan and Ethan Smith underneath it, and the right fielder Smith comes up with it for the first out here in the top of the 9th. And this has been an exciting roller coaster of a game here at Falcon Park. If you're just joining us this late in the game, I'm Evan Crocio, joined alongside by Ryan Story, where it is a 12-10 ball game with 1 out. The Pilots actually took the lead in the 6th inning. They were down in the game 8-2. It's now 12-10 Doubledays. Out there on the mound is Will Seiler. He's facing off right now against Christopher Babkowski, the catcher tonight, who is 1 for 3 at the plate.
And he struck out twice as well.
The Doubledays looking to end their losing streak, as they lost just recently to the Geneva Red Wings. They look to improve to 18-10, whereas the Pilots look to keep this game going, down 12-10, and try to improve to 6-20 on the season. Seiler working with a 2-1 count. Kick steals to Babkowski. The pitch in there for a strike, says the home plate umpire. Count is tied 2-2. The Doubledays fans, who have been hot and cold all night, are finally making some noise here in the top of the 9th. Count's tied 2-2. Seiler kick steals. The pitch. This one's fouled off. First base side, well over the bleachers. And there goes all of the young fans here at Falcon Park chasing after that ball like the seagulls in Finding Nemo. Mine.
Great reference, Evan.
2-2. Just misses for a ball. Count is full. 3-2. Payoff pitch. just misses. And just like that, the tying run steps up to the plate for the Pilots in Aiden Davenport.
Davenport has just one hit today, but that was a big hit. It was an RBI single. But last time he was up to start off the 7th inning, he struck out. Seiler's done a good job against this Pilots order.
Look out there, a beautiful stop by Tavares.
What you do with the dugout?
Certainly bumped into Davenport there. He apologized, and Davenport said it's okay back. No hostility whatsoever. Count is 1-0. Seiler gives a runner off. First a look. Kick steals. This one's in there for a strike. Count is tied 1-1. And for the Doubledays fans, not only do they want to see the Doubledays win on a huge night, but they want to see the fireworks as soon as possible. This one's chopped on first base side. Foul ball.
And this fireworks again in honor of Hematology Oncology Association of CNY Night, the 6th annual event for the cancer survivors.
Been a very fun night here at Falcon Park. Awesome to see the turnout on Cancer Survivor Night. And it has been a phenomenal game for everyone here to watch. The 1-2 misses outside for ball 2. Tavares with a good stop on the breaking ball that missed. Count is tied 2-2. Seiler. Kick steals the pitch. This one fouled off. Ricochets off of the foot of Seiler. We have hit 10 p.m. here at Falcon Park. 3.5-hour game.
And we're still going.
Like I've been saying, a roller coaster of a game. Seiler comes set from the stretch. The 2-2. This one's fouled off. Ricochets off the net, and the Doubledays bat boy hustles after that one. Been everywhere tonight.
He really has been.
Count is still 2-2. Pitch from Seiler, roped in the right field for a base hit. Ethan Smith running in after that one. Advancing at third base is Babkowski, and the winning run, or the leading run that is, steps up to the plate now for the Pilots in Liam Wagner. Babkowski on third, Davenport on first. Wagner yet to pick up a hit in this one. He is 0 for 1 on the night. He pinch hit for Jaden Pena, who got hurt in the game.
And Pena had been hitting good too. He was 1 for 2, but with a key single, as well as he got hit by a pitch once.
Wagner's talking to his head coach, deciding if he's going to potentially bunt or try a hit and run situation.
Yeah, bunt wouldn't make a ton of sense here just because you've got runners on first and third, but you need 2 runs to score at least to keep this game going.
Oh, good thing I'm not a coach.
I think you'd be a great coach. Don't let the haters talk you down.
Well, you were my hater there. I said bunt, and you said no.
Well, bunt doesn't make sense there, but...
All right, good point.
I mean, Pete Carroll was still a great coach, even though he called the play a pass on the 1-yard line.
Still can't believe the Seahawks didn't run the ball.
Yeah, but at least they won the Super Bowl this year and then sold their franchise for $9.6 billion. They're doing okay.
Go Bills.
Go Giants.
There goes the runner to second. Tavares throws it down, kind of stuck with him. There's the throw into home. The throw in time. What a play by William Ragland. The throw took him off the base. He was able to collect it. It cut down the runner to second. And then throw it home for the second out.
And Evan, talk about bad decisions. What do you have to gain from stealing home there? You're still down by a run, as opposed to having 2 runners in scoring position. A single wins the game, and you had 1 out on the board. Now you have 2 outs on the board. Now the tie runs at home. That doesn't make any sense.
I'm not sure why Babkowski went there, but there are 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. That one misses for a ball to Wagner. So we'll update the score bug for you. There's 2 outs here in the top of the 9th.
Hit
This
into
one's
right
hit
center.
into right center field. Dropped for a base hit in front of Ethan Smith and Teddy Monahan. Making his way to home with ease is Aiden Davenport. 12-11 is the score. A single for Liam Wagner, his first hit on the night. And the Pilots are now only down by 1 run.
And now, if Auburn ends up coming away from this game with a victory, Chris Babkowski will look back and say, what did I do? Because it would be a tie game right here if Babkowski didn't try to steal. But it's not over yet.
Here comes Grant Ingram, 0 for 3 on the plate with 2 flyouts and a strikeout looking. Off of first is Wagner. The pitch. That misses for a ball. Count is 1-1.
Seiler up to 105 pitches, hit triple digits in the last at-bat.
Off of first again is Wagner. Keeping him close is Michelson. Counts 1-1 with 2 outs. The pitch. That misses for a ball. Good block by Tavares. Ingram is really due for a hit in this game. So far 0 for 3, like I said. Wagner off of first. Michelson still on the base. The pitch from Seiler. Swung on and missed. The Pilots down to their last strike on the game. The 2-strike, 2-out siren has gone off here at Falcon Park. This is huge for Seiler to win the game here. All he needs is a strike. Comes set. Gives a runner a look. Kicks fields. The 2-2. Breaking ball. Just misses upstairs. No budge from the home plate umpire. Count is full 3-2. Doubledays fans standing up on their feet. You can feel the intensity of this game. Seiler, the payoff pitch. Coming up. There it is. It's hit on the ground. Shortstop. Rumpf collects it. Throw to first on a hop. In time! What a play by the shortstop, Connor Rumpf, to win this one. 12-11 is your final score. The Auburn Doubledays improve to 18-10 on the season and win on a phenomenal game.
Just a crazy one. And then we're going to have fireworks right after we saw a ton of explosiveness through both teams' bats today.
The Doubledays win this one. It was looking like they were going to potentially lose this game after losing their momentum. Instead, the Doubledays find their momentum again at the end of the game and improve to 18-10 on the season. And the Newark Pilots drop to 5-21. Rumpf, the hero of the game so far, as me and Ryan are going to talk about some things here soon. But Rumpf ended the game on that ground out. Beautiful play to first base. And like you said, Babkowski, he could have been the tying run. It should have been 12-12 right now. Instead, it's 12-11. Babkowski was caught stealing, Ragland with the gun down to home. 12-11 is your final score. Fireworks coming up here soon. And Ryan, anything quick you've got to say before the fireworks happen?
Yeah, I'd just say that, wow, Chris Babkowski cannot be happy with himself after that game, but a statement win for Auburn, shockingly reminiscent of their game with Newark, a 9-8 win just a few days ago. Overall, Auburn has a lot to be happy about, but also a lot to work with before their next game coming up against a doubleheader against Jamestown tomorrow.
So for Ryan's story, I'm Evan Crocio saying so long and have a great night. Thank you for sticking with us on Cancer Survivor Nights and a long game here at Falcon Park. A fun and exciting game. Fireworks are going to be starting anytime here soon at Falcon Park. The Doubledays hugging each other after a phenomenal, much-needed win. They end their losing bid. They improved to 18-10. Newark drops to 5-21. We're going to keep the stream on as the fireworks are starting here soon. Thank you for joining us. Feel free to watch. If not, have a great night.